It will be a high-power game today, that's for sure.
Starting 11 for Canada offense. Quarterback number 14.
And we will have the presentation for Canada.
Running back number 83, Aya Palmer. Running back number 44, Julie Peck. Wide receiver number 89, Charlie.
And we have had a very nice weather in Stockholm all day and all week actually. So we're looking forward to a very great game tonight. And there is quite a crowd as well. And hopefully they will be on Facebook and on the internet as well. Presenting Canada. And let's see if we have Anna in... oh, there we have Anna.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I have a hard time hearing you, Lars, because it's really loud here at the stadium.
All right.
But let's just welcome the offensive starters for Canada.
Have you been able to speak to Jan?
Nope.
No. Hopefully he will come as well.
Well,
otherwise we will run it ourselves.
That's all right. Got some experience this morning.
Sure, we have that. We have been broadcasting all day today. Started at 11 o'clock this morning. Okay, we have USA.
Team USA coming up.
And there is noise and there is audio, that's for sure.
Yes, that's a lot of noise. I think we might have to communicate by sign language with Lars here.
All right.
But it's a great thing. The fans are all here supporting their teams. This is the historic first final of the Women's Championship. So let's see the defensive starters for Team USA.
Defensive line number 62, Janine Crusher. Defensive line number 43, Danielle Goulet. Linebacker number 47, Nick Martin. Linebacker number 30, Leah Mitchell.
Finally, we have John joining us as well.
Linebacker number 21, Angela Banhegyi. Defensive back number 8, Sharon Vasquez. Defensive back number 24, Alberta Fisher-Bryson. Defensive back number 81, Lauren Pringle. And finally, defensive back number 32, Jennifer Tyra.
The audio's on. Okay.
Hello, John.
Hello. Jan as well. My name is Lars. I will not be more or less. I will be on the technical side of this broadcast. We have Jan doing most of the commentary, and we have Anna doing analyzing.
The analyzing. We'll see how that goes.
It's going to go great. This is going to be a fantastic game.
We have done this before, haven't we?
Yes, we've had a few games under our belt at this point.
We hope that the Facebook fans will
send us out a shout, and we'll
they
talk to you. All right, great.
Okay, go.
This is going to listen to some national anthems first.
She will be starting to sing the Canadian first.
Well, we'll start with the Canadian anthem and then the USA anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, to patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté le pied.
Well, she speaks French.
Il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée
Beautifully done, and just for Lars's information, we'll continue later.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well,
Beautiful, beautiful.
that's the first time we have a live singer.
Anthems, yeah. So what
Quite
I was
nice.
going to say, for Lars's information, that the Canadian anthem is indeed bilingual, English and French. It has parts in English, parts in French, so it's always sung this way.
Hence why they speak two languages in Canada.
Yes, exactly.
I do know the captains for the USA, and they will be Tracy Adams, number 5, Desiree Wyman, number 2, Julie Shockley, number 27, Jessica Springer, number 46.
All right, and we will see the Canadian captains in just a little bit when they walk out for the quintiles, and then we will introduce them as well.
The U.S. team has been looking forward to this game. Their whole training camp has been, their goal was to get to this game.
As was the Canadian team's goal, I believe, as well. And so this is going to be a great, great matchup because both teams have been really strong so far. Especially Team USA. None of the opponents managed to score against Team USA, so
It'll be interesting
they
to
are
see
definitely the favorites here.
what kind of offense Canada brings today.
Definitely. They do have a very powerful running back in Julie Page, as we saw at the last game that they played. So
We'll see how the U.S. defense handles her.
Exactly. So now here we see the Canadian captains as well.
Number
We have
14.
Number 14, Sadia Ashraf, the quarterback. Number 11, Jen DeGeese, who's a linebacker. And number 87, Amy Moore. And help me
Let's
out
see.
here. I can't.
I couldn't see the
number
last.
well, but
80.
89.
Is it 89?
I believe it is 89.
Yes, it
Charlene
is.
Mash.
Charlie
Also
Mash.
wide receiver. We have introduced the captains for Team USA already.
One of the interesting things for the USA captains, 3 of the ladies, Adams, Shockley, and Wyman all play on the West Coast, and Springer plays in Dallas. In fact, 2 of them, Shockley and Springer, will be facing each other in another week in the championship of the Western Conference. What's quite interesting, the USA team, right after this, they're competitors right again.
Yeah, so they managed to put aside all those rivalries for the time of this tournament very nicely, because the team seems to be together really, really well.
They have come from the very beginning of training camp. Their motto has been one team, one mission.
Yes, we heard that a lot from them.
So let's
And
see what we
it
got
really
here.
has been one team.
Well received.
USA will start out on defense, so I don't think they'll be unhappy with that. Canada will start on offense, which is probably what they wanted to do because they feel that's their strength.
Yeah, exactly. So we will start this historic game in just a minute.
Yes, the first ever.
Canada receiving, the US is kicking off the ball. First ever final for the first ever World Championship for Women's American Football. We are all part of history. How does that feel, John?
Feels pretty great. How's it feel for you, Anna?
Oh, wonderful. I wish I could be on to be a player.
Yeah, being a player, so it's really got to be momentous for you.
Yes.
Hoping that at one point Hungary will be here. Austria's already here.
Austria's already here, and they did a great job earlier today. So hopefully at the next World Cup we will have a Hungarian team as well.
And hopefully you'll be representing them.
I hope so. All right.
Well, we'll find out right off the bat if the teams are both out here to play. And I believe they are.
I believe so too. They've been working really, really hard, practicing all week, and this is a straining schedule. I mean, a game every other day. That's usually not something players face on a regular basis.
That's true. Both.
So it's really hard on your
I don't
body.
think any teams here play any games that close together. All of them are used to playing one game a week at the most.
Or one game every 2 weeks, sometimes even less. So yeah, this is a huge thing for everybody because it's quite a strain on your body to.
And as we'll see, the tradition with the U.S. team, they run up to the ball and then they spread out. And now we're ready for the kick. Emily Williams kicks it deep to the right side. And we're going to have a return up the middle. She cuts it to the right hash mark. It's number 82 for
Canada.
Alex Black.
We heard her name a lot at the previous game, so let's see that kickoff again. Goes down the right. Alex Black cuts back to the center and is down at the 35-yard line.
First down for Canada on the right on the 35.
We have a little break here while they play a little music, as we've gotten used to, having music in between the breaks.
Yeah, we have the speakers right above us, so it gets really loud in here.
All right, we're ready for the first snap. Canada has 2 wide left and 2 wide right with a single back in the backfield. Dropping back to pass, and the pass is overthrown. Incomplete. Pass was intended for number 89, Charlene Mash Hadlow.
Incomplete. Flag on the play.
All right, we start off with a flag on the play. Nothing unusual for this tournament.
No, we've seen a lot of flags flying around. The flag seems to be behind where the line of scrimmage was, so maybe it's a holding call.
Oh, they're going to wave it off. Imagine that.
We've seen that before too.
Second down and 10 for Canada on their own 35.
The officials just can't help themselves, can they?
Well, at least they make corrections whenever there is a mistake. That's what the flags are for.
All right, Canada in the same set. Quarterback under center. And it's a handoff, and we got another flag. Wow, she needs to turn off her mic, the official, because when she blows it, it's quite loud for the crowd and for us here.
I think she has just noticed that.
So, not off to a fast start here.
Yeah, we haven't seen much action yet, but
11:49 left in the quarter, and all we've seen is 2 flags. Haven't even gotten a play other than the kickoff.
and a lot of whistles.
Number 85, Canada.
Not the way Canada wants to start off.
It was Lindsay Ertman's full start that sets the Canadian team back 5 yards. So now it's 2nd and 15 for Canada.
Second down and 15.
Okay, Canada in the same set with this time go shotgun. It's a high snap. Sadia throws it. She has an open receiver, number 85, and who gets down to looks like the 40 of the U.S.
Nice catch by Charlene Mash.
Yes, that was a nice pass and a wonderful catch.
See that replay?
20 yards.
Nicely arching right to the hands of the receiver in stride. It wasn't overthrown. She didn't have to go back for it either.
Yeah, she beat the U.S. player, number 31, Angela Banstra, right off the ball.
So
and
big first down for Canada.
that's a huge play for Canada. So the 2 flags didn't bother them.
That's what you got to do. Come right back into the game.
Now we'll see if the U.S. defense will tighten up. Canada drops back. She rolls to her left and just throws the ball away. She was under pressure by number 47 of the U.S., Martin, who put the pressure on Canada's quarterback.
And the U.S. had quick penetration in that pass rush, so Ashraf didn't have room to actually throw a pass.
So we have seen in previous games that the U.S. have played that pass plays, teams have been able to get a big play here and there on them on the pass, and we saw that again.
Yes, we'll see if the U.S. can adjust to these pass plays. Well, this time the pass rush was really nicely executed.
Canada has a player in motion, number 85, and she's now set on the right side. Quarterback looks to her, but is in trouble, has huge pressure by Martin again, and she throws it and has number 85 open, but she drops the ball. Now that was a good play on number 85 to keep her route going, and the U.S. defender jumped because she saw the quarterback had pressure.
Yeah, she actually left her standing, but unfortunately it bounced off of her hands.
Otherwise that would have been a huge game for Canada.
She would have had an open lane right down the sideline to the end zone.
The U.S. player felt that there was pressure on the quarterback, so she gave up the coverage a little bit, and Ashraf made a nice throw, but her receiver let her down.
That's a reminder to never give up the
Canada
chase.
back in a shotgun now. Two receivers right, two left. Oh, it's a really high snap, and then she just pitches it forward, and it's going to be a fumble. No, they're going to call it a forward pass, incomplete.
Yes, it's going to be.
That was a little dangerous there.
It was.
I mean, the U.S. had a lot of pressure coming in. You'll see it on the replay.
I think it was sort of a quick but badly made decision by the quarterback to just pitch it forward towards Julie Page, but
yeah, she was definitely looking for Page to pitch it to, but I think the high snap threw it off for him.
Yeah.
So Canada is going to punt, and the U.S. has Rusty Sowers back, who ran back a punt in the last game. So we'll see what happens. They kick it straight to her. Might be a mistake for Canada. Sowers takes it to the left, has good blocking. She comes to the outside, and she's in traffic, makes a couple cuts, and Canada takes her down at the 39-yard line of the U.S.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a dangerous block down that sideline that was from the side and almost looked like a block in the back.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't, and Sowers manages to cut back and gain about 10 more yards on that play.
It was a close block, but she got her on the shoulder on the inside, so the U.S. did nice to block on that.
Yeah, it was key too for.
All right, the U.S. only has 3 players in the middle of the field, and they go with 5 off to the right. Shotgun formation, 2 to the left. Grisafi looking right, throwing long. She has a receiver, a good adjustment, but she drops the ball. And we got a flag. We may have pass interference.
It looked like there was some contact in there.
The U.S. went with a trick play there.
And it looks like the defensive back had her hand on the
So that was
receiver.
Wellenek that the pass was thrown to, and she may have not caught that because the defender may have looked like what appeared to have her hand on her.
Yeah, we might get a defensive pass interference call, which would be huge for the U.S. They would gain a lot of yards.
That's what it is. They call looks like it's a first down for the U.S. on pass interference. But let's hear the call.
Pass interference on the defense. Canada, number 25.
So both offenses start out in their first drive with a pass interference that helps them out.
Yep, looks like we got sort of twin sets of plays here. Let's see if the U.S. is trying to execute another trick play on this drive. We got Grisafi at quarterback. And we got an unbalanced line.
They're going to snap it directly back to 46, I believe. Yes, they do. Springer gets the ball and breaks to the left. Springer could watch out. Springer's going. She's driving through people and gets down to what looks like the 19 of Canada. That was a direct snap to Springer in the backfield.
That was a nicely executed play, but Springer doing a huge job at her run. I mean, there are 2 defenders hanging on to her, and she still managed to gain a few more yards there. But she had a nice open lane. diagonal lane.
The U.S. is pulling out all their tricks in their playbook to mess with Canada and confuse them. And again, a direct snap to Springer, and Springer goes to the left and plows over a few more people for what looks like 4 yards maybe.
Yeah, that previous play was really nicely done because Grusafi was standing right behind the tackle, the left tackle, and with the receiver just next to the tackle. So it looked like an unbalanced line, but it was actually a regular line with the direct snap to Springer.
So it kind of gave a little confusion to the Canadian defense, and there was a nice hole to the left side there, and Springer just ran through it. So let's see what the U.S. does again. They're doing the same thing, and a direct snap again. This time they go to the opposite side, and Springer in for a touchdown.
And the lead block was key on this play.
So Canada didn't figure that out in that short period of time, and the U.S. used it to their advantage. They just went to the right instead of the left.
And we got a nice lead block by Menzik up there, number 63.
Jamie Menzik.
Yeah, she lined up as fullback, even though she's a guard.
Menzik has had a good tournament.
Definitely.
And so the U.S. scores quickly, and now we'll go for an extra point. Snap is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the U.S. takes a quick 7-0 lead. Again, the U.S. has only failed once to score on a possession in the last 2 games.
Yeah, they're very, very efficient and very powerful. I would even say scary for the opposing teams. Let's see if Canada has some tricks up their sleeve too.
That Canada definitely was not expecting that because the U.S. hasn't shown that play in the entire tournament. Nor had they shown the pass play that went to Wellenek where they put the line all the way out. Again, they had the correct number of players on the line. They were just split all the way out to the yard marker, to the numbers.
It's amazing how the U.S. team really just had that 1 week of training camp together for the entire team to gel and learn all the plays, and they're still executing so well.
Well, they did spend every day doing football in the camp. They were there all day long, 2-a-day training and studying. So the U.S. team definitely put in a lot of things that they haven't shown anybody, and today they're pulling out all the stops because it's the gold medal game.
And they're going by a very complicated playbook, which most teams didn't actually try to do this tournament. They went with a basic set of plays that were usually very basic, but some teams gain pretty good yardage based on just the simple I formation runs and things like that. We see a signature kickoff by the U.S.
And the announcers have definitely got that down because they keep using the screeching. Nice kick by Williams, fielded by number 89.
Charlene Mash again.
Oh, a good play by Sharon Vasquez of the USA. She makes a solo tackle down there. That was a very nice play. Canada.
You can see in the replay, Mash is trying to cut to the left side, but Vasquez runs straight through the blockers and gets her down on the ground.
So the U.S. kick coverage has been very well throughout the tournament.
Yeah, special teams work has been great. But what has not been great about the U.S. team so far, I have yet to
penalties
see.
in the last game.
Yeah, that's true. I think we did talk about that they need to work on that.
Canada has a player in motion. They had 2 receivers left. Now they have trips on the right, single back in the backfield, and a quick throw to number 83. She's down. In this game, they're playing with NCAA rules, so as soon as her knee touches, she's down. So Canada's going to lose a yard on that, or 2.
Loss of 5 yards.
Actually, that was a lateral because it looked like it was thrown behind. So good thing she caught it.
Yeah, it could have been a fumble.
And we have seen that. We saw one play in an earlier game in the tournament where the pass was thrown back and it was a live ball.
Yeah, teams need to be mindful of that.
Okay, Canada is in their standard set. And quarterback is looking. Quick draw up the middle. She was in trouble there. Broken play, it looked like.
Yeah, this didn't go anywhere. There was no gap opening up for the quarterback. So
I don't think it was meant to be a run play there for the quarterback.
Like she might have just kept the ball because that was the only option.
Well, the U.S. defense definitely stiffing up now. They couldn't have been pleased with that big pass play.
3rd and long for Team Canada.
Canada now in shotgun formation with a single back to her right. Split receivers, double on each side. The quarterback scrambling, running for her life. We have 62 on her from the U.S. and the quarterback for Canada, Ashraf, just threw it away. So that was Fisher who was on there for the U.S.
Yeah, she shook off one tackler or would-be tackler, but then she couldn't find anyone to throw to. Couldn't set her feet really because there were defenders chasing her down.
So with 7:56 left in the first quarter, the U.S. still leads 7-0, and Canada has 4th and 15, so they're definitely going to punt it with the ball being on their own 25, 26. So the punt is off, and it's going to bounce in front of Sowers, and she's just going to let it roll. No, she decides to pick it up, and she's tackled, maybe gets a yard.
Punt return by Sowers. A gain of 2 yards.
I'm not quite sure that Sowers shouldn't have just left the ball there. That was a risky play.
It was, because if she had fumbled it, then it would have been Canada's ball.
And she did actually get the ball knocked loose, but she was down on the ground. So if we were playing by the rules that these ladies normally play by, that would have been a live ball.
Yes.
So
that wasn't really good decision making by Sowers in this.
So the U.S. lines up. We've got 3 receivers on the left, 1 out wide, a shotgun with number 23, Jenny Schmidt, and Wyman in the backfield. In motion was Blum, and it's a quick handoff to Wyman, who takes it up the middle, spinning, staying on her feet, and she breaks a tackle and is brought down at what looks like
23, Christina Goulet.
Christina Goulet made the tackle there, and may have saved the touchdown for Canada because she was running free.
Definitely. She shook off a couple of tacklers by spinning around. That was a nice spin move.
So the USA is on the Canadian 26 and with the 1st and 10. Same formation, 2 receivers right, 2 left for the US, shotgun. Back is set off to the left, and it's now Brickhouse who gets a quick handoff, that play that the US loves, and Brickhouse is going wide. She may take it in, and yes, she does score. It's that standard play the U.S. has been using the whole tournament.
Yeah, let's look at it one more time. There's the lane opening up, and she cuts out to the right. Goes around a couple more defenders, and she takes it home.
On a 26-yard run.
And Brickhouse used her speed and followed her blockers, took it to the outside, in for a touchdown.
This is football 101, really.
Executed perfectly by the U.S. No, they went for 2. What they did was they lined Springer up on the line, and Springer just ran alongside the line. She was basically behind the tight end, goes over, takes the snap, and just follows her line in. Yeah. So that gives the U.S. a 15-0 lead.
The U.S. O-line has just a tremendous push in these goal line situations. And they practice this kind of stuff a lot. They had several different plays for goal line situations and short yardage situations with different personnel packages too. So
right.
I mean, it's pretty advanced stuff.
The U.S. uses all of their players on their roster, making sure that they have packages that fit the different players that they have. So that was one that again, the USA, this is the gold medal game. They're pulling out all the stops. They're going to use everything they have in their playbook, and they're just going to keep Canada on their toes.
Definitely.
And so right now, Canada just cannot handle the U.S. offense.
Well, hopefully they can get something going on their offense. So
we
won't see a blowout game in the final.
Yeah, they've had some success on offense. They just haven't been able to sustain anything.
Yeah, they just got to get more consistent on making those plays. It does happen with teams that they come out and start the game and they just kind of wake up halfway through the game and start playing then. So it's like they haven't warmed up properly or something like that. We've seen that from a lot of teams, but the U.S. team never happens. They come
Another
out
kickoff by Williams.
Fighting.
Number 82 for Canada takes the kickoff, and it's a handoff to number 23, They tried to do a little trickery of their own, but it was stuffed out by the U.S. special teams. Looks like we have 47 on the tackle. Who else is down there? Vasquez.
It might have been a good idea at first, but it looks like they might have gotten a couple more yards if the first returner had kept the ball.
So that was Goulet who got the handoff from
number 82, Alex
Black. So Canada's trying to get something started, and the U.S. defense stayed in their lanes and sniffed it out. So here we go. Canada with an offset eye. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. A handoff to the deep back, and didn't quite get the number.
I'm sure it was
Patch.
Patch.
It was number 44 for Canada. She got 2 on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
There's a whole pile of defenders on top of her.
As for both teams, neither team's going to leave anything on the field today. This is it.
This is it.
We got an official something. We got 6:35 left in the first quarter. USA leading 15-0. Okay, Canada in the same formation. This time they have 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Actually, they have an offset eye in the back, and they pitch it to number 44, Patch, who takes it to the right and has a nice run for a first down for Canada.
Nice first down run by Julie Page. You see a change in the direction and a nice block that helps Page cut out to the right-hand side and gain a lot more yards than she would have without that block. Even if the block was only out for about a second or so.
Gave her enough time to get to the outside, and the U.S. defense
work.
had to pursue.
Nice work by Kendra Jones, number 12, on the blocking.
Canada up to the line again. They're staying with the same formation. The only thing they changed was they switched the receivers to have 2 on the left and 1 on the right. So it's an offset eye again. They like that because it gives Paige some room to see the field, having her back in that eye formation, or the offset eye. So they can pitch it to her, or they can have her run a sweep.
Yeah, and it's something they can also change once they line up. In terms of the direction, the fullback just has to switch to the other side, and there you got nice lead blocking. It's more difficult from an eye formation to run outside run, so the fullback has a better chance of really making it to the block quickly and leaving enough room for the tailback if it is an offset eye. Now it's a run
again to
up the
Paige,
middle.
and she gets a nice run, and she gets away for another Canadian first down. So Paige is doing a lot of damage to the U.S. defense.
Yes, and once again, it was crucial that the line and the fullback got their blocks right. That block again was crucial by Kendra Jones, the Canadian fullback, number 12.
So really, she's the one making the holes for Paige today, which she's doing a nice job of. Again, the Canadians are in the same formation. They just shift Jones to the right. And again, they pitch it to Paige, who runs now to the right side, cuts back left. The USA tackles her, but again, she got another first down. So Canada is driving down the field.
This time, Paige decided not to wait for her block, but just to cut inside while her blocker was going outside. But that also basically cut off U.S. number 8, Vasquez. So she couldn't get to the runner. Nice work again for Team Canada.
So Canada's driving. They got a nice drive going here. The U.S. defense is going to have to do something here. Otherwise, Canada's going to put some points on the game board and make this a close game. Again, they switch the up back. And again to Paige, but this time the U.S. misses a couple tackles. She still gets positive yards, but they were there on that one.
Yeah, everyone was on there, but it was very nice to see Paige shaking off that tackle.
1 yard gain.
Good little spin move and a stiff arm, and just ducking down.
Paige has got a low center of gravity, so if you don't get low on her, she's just going to juke you.
She's very shifty. She can change direction quickly, and she's got the speed to go with it. It's hard to tackle her.
And the Canadians drop back, and this time they're throwing a pass. and it's incomplete. It was Pringle on the coverage. So Canada stayed in the same formation, and this time they just dropped back the pass and used the tailback and the fullback for blocking.
Yeah, and the pass was well thrown. I mean, it was a little bit high for the receiver to catch, but the cornerback was right on her,
so it's 3rd and 8 for Canada with 4:22 left in the first quarter.
They might go back to their tried and trusted runs instead of a passing play in this one.
I would think that they are going to go back to the run. They have a player in motion. She's now set on the right side, number 83 for Canada, and they give go right back to the run. They get some positive yards, but it looks like it's going to be 4th and 6.
Yeah, it looks like the U.S. defense was also expecting Canada to go back to their runs.
Again at 2, 4th and 7.
And also the player in motion, there was a lot of time after she actually got to the other side and got set, so there was a long time for the U.S. to actually adjust to it, which is not what you want on a play with motion.
Yeah, you want to use the motion to confuse the defense.
Exactly. So you want to snap the ball really quickly after the motion.
Same formation, and they just shift 12, and again it's a pitch to patch. But this time she is stopped for a loss, and Canada is going to turn the ball over.
First down, USA.
So Canada tried to go back to it and got nothing there.
Yeah, unfortunately, once they got close to the red zone, it just didn't work out for them. But they did find some plays that actually worked. So hopefully on the next drive, they can move the chains again. Good red zone defense by the U.S. team.
So the U.S. is going to want, the defense is going to want the offense to drive down this field and give them a break. So the U.S. is set with Springer in the backfield, Grisafi, shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We have motion and a handoff to Springer, who just goes right up the middle, doesn't gain maybe 3 yards. Not a lot there on that.
Springer.
Yeah, she kind of ran into her blocker a little bit. Her blocker actually fell.
For a minute,
it for a little bit of room
looked like there was a hole, and then it closed very quickly.
Yeah.
7 and 6.
So we have 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first quarter. USA in the same formation. No, they have 2 receivers right, 2 left. Wyman in the backfield this time. And still Grisafi in a shotgun. She drops back to pass. She's looking, throws it to Wyman up the middle. And Wyman breaks 1 tackle and gets a U.S. first down. Out to about the 32.
Once again, nice job shaking off the tackler.
Grisafi, complete to Wyman.
She's wide open. She gets the ball and she shakes off 1 tackle.
Coleman. First down.
Another reason why you gotta keep your feet moving.
Okay, the USA is 2 receivers. They have Blum in motion, and it's a quick snap to, it looks like Brickhouse for a big gain for the U.S. So they put Blum in motion, and they just gave a quick snap to Brickhouse.
Yeah, the handoff was a little bit of a tricky thing too, because it looked like they were
going to give it to Blum.
And they were going to give it to Blum, but Brickhouse went right up that middle lane there, confusing the defenders.
Okay, they put Springer back in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and they're staying with Grisafi as quarterback in the shotgun. And they look to pass, and they've got Cannon open, and she was overthrown.
A little bit overthrown for her.
If Grisafi was able to hit Cannon, she was gone.
Second down.
Got a little bit of play action.
Yeah, just a bad pass.
Yeah.
Because she had a wide open receiver.
We haven't seen a lot of bad passes from Grisafi, but this one was overthrown.
So they put 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Springer still in the backfield, and Grisafi quarterback in the shotgun. A snap and a quick handoff to Springer, who takes it to the right, follows her blocks. She has a big hole, and she takes it all the way down to the Canadian 24.
First down, USA.
Once again, we see we saw a nice lead block. See her run up, and there is that block by number 70 that opens up another lane. Then she gets to cut back to the right and run
That's
up the
Dawn
sideline.
Peterson of the Chicago Force there, who was the lead blocker, and Canada has a player who's down on their own sideline. Can't see what the number is. But again, the U.S. line is doing their job. They're blocking and opening holes, and we see them keeping, when it's a run play, driving downfield to make sure that they can get an extra block in there.
Yeah, very efficient blocking there. We had a lot of injuries today. I mean, this is the end of a long week of games for all the teams. So the Austrian team actually lost one running back to broken foot. Their MVP from the previous 2 games, Michaelis, was down and had to be taken to hospital, unfortunately. And then the other running back, Risa Cooper, suffered an ankle injury, but she went back into the game later. And so they had to use a 3rd running back most of the game, Michaela Gesta, a converted quarterback actually. So there were a lot of injuries in that game.
I think for the USA, hopefully their conditioning, the time they spent in Texas has prepared them. They practice every day here and try to get used to this tough schedule that's here. And hopefully we don't have any injuries. We don't want to see anybody hurt today.
They also have a full roster of players where some of the smaller teams couldn't actually get their rosters full, or if they did, there was a huge drop-off between the starters and the backups. So injuries hurt them a lot more.
It's Goulet for the Canadian team that's down on the sideline. She's sitting up and they're tending to her, not quite sure what her injury is, but she's talking to the trainers and looks like she's going to get up now. So hopefully she'll be back in the game.
Yeah, she's also a key special teams player, so I'm sure Canada is hoping for her to be able to go back to the game.
Okay, the USA first down. They have 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and they now have Wyman in the backfield. Grisafi in the shotgun. Snap and a quick handoff to Wyman, who takes it up the middle, and there's no one there. She just runs it right into the end zone. There was literally not a defender there.
No one there. I don't know what they were doing in the middle. Let's see where everybody was going. Well, I guess the defensive line was blocked out, and
she was untouched.
The hole was open. She ran untouched for the end zone.
Touchdown USA. Wyman, 25 yards left.
Another great job on blocking because the defensive line couldn't even get close to her. There was a huge gap opening up.
That makes the U.S. 21, and the extra point now attempt is good, which will make it 22-0 USA with 1:36 left in the first quarter.
Well, they ran away with it pretty fast, so.
That gave a little break to the U.S. defense to catch their breath.
Well, that's
short one.
A short one, but it's something.
Yeah, but I mean, the Canadians were totally outblocked on that play. They had nobody in the secondary. As soon as Wyman got through the line, she didn't have. The only person who was running with her was number 75 Baker from the U.S.
Yeah, I'm not sure where their secondary actually was.
They were totally fooled, and maybe it was because the U.S. had 5 receivers on the field.
Yeah, maybe that drew away the Canadian safety up to the side, and so there was a lot of room in the middle. Because definitely, I mean, if you have a defensive line block there should be at least a second layer of players coming in for the tackle. I think it was an outside linebacker who was trying to chase Ryman down, but there was no chance. Too far away.
The Canadian defense is definitely under the gun today.
Yeah, and the song we hear now, or we just heard, was Welcome to the Jungle by the Guns N' Roses, so welcome to the jungle.
The U.S. comes up to the ball, back, getting ready for the kick, and they're going to kick it away again. And they're going to kick it to number 82,
Alex Black again. With
Alex Black. She has a decent run back. Gets the ball to the 42, it looks like.
Yeah.
Black made the kick.
She got tackled from 2 different sides, and her body was bending all kinds of weird ways, which
the tackle
must be painful. But
First down,
prevailed.
Canada at their own 42.
So we'll see what the Canadian offense can do. Again, they've had some good success, but couldn't quite do it once they got into the U.S. zone. The defense for the U.S. just tightened up.
Well, they have decent field position to start with, so.
Canada has a player in motion, offset eye. Now the player's set on the right side, and they give it to number 33 now. That's the first time we've seen her. That is Erin Walton for the Canadian team, and she lost 4 yards on that.
Yeah, even though there was another nice block by the fullback right there, Kendra Jones, but there was a lot of penetration by the U.S. defense there, so that one block wasn't enough to give her room.
Walton had no place to go.
No, and it looks like she's not as fast as Paige is.
Well, now they put Paige in and took Jones out, and they're keeping Walton in as well. No, they didn't put Paige in. It's just Walton, and it was Asharf in the backfield, and she kept the ball and ran to the right. My mistake there. They only had a single back.
No tackle on the play. Third down and 11.
She sees the lane open. She runs through it. I'm not sure why she kept running to the side. I think she was anticipating the defender coming at her. She should have just run straight at her.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 for Canada with 35 seconds, 34 seconds left in the first quarter. They'll get this snap off. Canada has 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback in a shotgun with the back to her right. Snap is a little high, but she catches it, and it's a quick throw out to number 83, and complete.
There's no flag in the play. There was a little bit of contact between the players, but it looks like there's no interference call on this one.
The intended receiver was Aaliyah Palmer.
Yeah, this was a little bit too long for her, it looks like. So Canada is probably going to punt the ball away, and we got Sowers back in the field.
Yep, Canada's definitely not going to give the U.S. ball with that kind of field position, so they're going to punt it away. Good snap, whistles. We're going to bring it back. Don't know what happened.
I think the U.S. defense might have jumped across the line before the ball was snapped, but it might be.
Still won't give Canada first down, so they'll still have to punt it.
Yes, they will.
But if it moves the ball for them, they'll be able to hopefully.
Well, it was on Canada, actually.
5 yards penalty, still 4th down.
So they will have to punt from either even farther back in their half of the field.
So with 7 seconds left in the first quarter, Canada gets pushed back another 5, and will kick again. Sowers is the only returner back. It's a quick kick. Takes a bounce. Sowers fields it and gets to the 48, 49.
Sowers,
depending on what yard you want to use.
On the 17.
Picks it up.
On the left.
Shakes off 2 tacklers, but is finally down after a couple of yards by number 51. Katie Archibald on the Canadian team.
Okay, that's the end of the first quarter. We'll switch sides and we'll get the second quarter going. What happened?
Herrarnas juniorlag har vunnit sin match I Frankrike med 11-0.
Okay, the U.S. is just ready to get to the ball and go. No huddle, no nothing. So they're on the line, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, shotgun formation. Schmidt in at quarterback. Wyman was in the backfield. Schmidt running to her right, and she's going to keep the ball and gain a couple yards. She had nobody to throw for. The secondary had good coverage.
Yeah, it was good coverage by Canada, and there were a couple of defenders chasing Schmidt down. So she decided to play it safe and just run out the sideline.
Smart play by
No
Schmidt.
reason to get hurt.
So Schmidt stays in, Wyman in the backfield. Shotgun. Schmidt looks and has Sowers coming across the middle. She takes the ball and goes up to the numbers. She's now on the 25 and still going. So she's down to the 22.
Nice job on just keeping her balance and shifting around.
Just a quick slant.
3 defenders, and that was a nice block too, blocking out the would-be tackler, although she kind of chose the wrong angle to run through because she ran straight into
U.S. gets right up on the ball again. A pitch to Wyman. Wyman makes move to the left and keeps going. And let's see, she'll get tackled at the 5, and we have a flag on the play.
Schmidt's pass to Wyman complete. Wyman gets the first down. Gets tackled by Degrees. There's a flag on the play.
I don't know what they're calling.
I'm not sure. That might be a holding call on
number 10 of the U.S.
I didn't see the number, unfortunately, but there was something on the side.
Interesting to see what they call.
There was a lot of contact between those 2 players, and it might be a holding call.
Holding, number 10, USA.
So that was Adrian Smith of the U.S.
First down.
U.S. still keeps first down, but is going to bring the ball back to the 11.
Yeah, so Smith had her hands inside the pads of the Canadian player is what I saw.
Okay, now we have Springer and looks like Brickhouse in the backfield with Grisafi under center. She pitches to Springer, and Springer takes it up the middle, and there is another flag on the play.
Nice
Springer
block.
gets down to the 1, but we have a flag.
Nice block by Grisafi, and this is that pitch play that we saw a lot at the previous game.
Not sure what the penalty is going to be on this one.
I didn't really see any.
Young and Degrees on the tackle for Canada.
Officials saw something, but we didn't quite see it.
And it's on Team USA.
Holding,
Another holding call.
number 31, USA. From counter foul, 10 yards back, still first down.
So that was Karen Mulligan.
It was Karen Mulligan with the holding.
So Schmidt's back in the game at quarterback. And Springer's in the backfield, off to Schmidt's right. 2 receivers left and right. Shotgun. Snap's good. Schmidt's looking, throws, has Sowers, and Sowers back down to the 1. So we're right back where we were before.
They've been successful with these cross
Schmidt's
patterns.
pass
You can
complete
see
to
Sowers
Sowers.
runs up and then crosses
Tackle.
behind the line of scrimmage about 10 yards or so.
Yep.
By
Gets
Brewer.
the ball in stride. Has to jump up a little bit for it, which makes for an easy tackle afterwards.
Canada has a player number 5, Crochier, sitting on the field. So it looks like she got a little knock.
Looks like she can get up on her own, walk off the field. Bit of limp, so looks like a twisted ankle or some such injury. So then Canada sends in number 11, Jan de Gies, for the injured Crochetier.
Timeout for an injured player. We have first down, USA.
So the U.S. has a 1st and goal. They have Brickhouse in the backfield with Springer in an I formation. Only 1 receiver out to the right. And it's a... Can't tell. Yep, she did hand it off to Springer. It almost looked like Grisafi kept it for a minute.
It did.
But it's Springer touchdown.
Yeah, nice blocking again. It was a four-man blocking wall to beat.
So U.S. now 28, Canada 0.
At a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the U.S. will try extra point. They got an interesting setup there with, well, they went for 2.
And they converted.
So the U.S. lined up all their line, offset to the left, and then hiked the ball to one of the players over there, and they just followed them in. I believe they hiked it to Springer again and got the 2-point conversion. So it'll be 30-0 USA with 10:31 left in the second quarter.
We've seen this play once before from the U.S. team in the previous game, I think, the game against Finland. They executed it there too. So many tricks up their sleeves.
All right, the well-used U.S. special teams will be back out on the field.
With that signature kickoff move.
When you play the U.S. offense, your return team better get ready because they're going to get a lot of balls.
Definitely.
Who do they have back there? 82. Canada has received number 82.
Alex Black.
Alex Black, and number 89, I believe,
That's
Marsh Hadlow. And it's going to go to Black. Oh, it takes a bounce, and she's chasing it. She better fall on it. No, she decides to pick it up, and she's running across to the middle of the field, and she gets tackled at her own 11 by the U.S.
Well, this does not bode well for Canada to have such a bad field position. It's bouncing all over the place. She can't get her hands on it. There's some nice blocking there, so she manages to gain a few more yards out of it. But
maybe she got 5 after she picked it up, but it took a good bounce for the U.S.
Yeah, I think she was.
It's risky when you pick up the ball when the defenders are on you that quickly with as much as the ball bounced.
Yeah, usually coaches will just tell you to just fall on it if that happens.
Okay, Canada is in a shotgun now with a single back, 2 receivers to the left and right. Snap is good. Arship throws a quick, oh, there's a flag on the play.
Incomplete from Ashraf.
Yeah, the pass itself was a bit too long to catch. But
yeah, Ashraf just needs to throw a little one. She had her back coming out for a quick pass and a little swing pass, really. And she just overthrew her, but we've got a flag. As a back, you don't like to see your quarterback doing that.
Definitely not.
Offside. Defense, number 47.
Oh, well, this is positive for Canada. The U.S. is offsides. So they'll move the chains, not move the chains, they'll move the ball without having to do anything on offense.
Yeah, they gained 5 yards.
The easy way.
Pass, the easy way.
Canada now has a quarterback under center. Single back. Receivers split left and right, 2 on each side. And a quick handoff to number 7, I believe, Justine Barter. And she gets about 6 yards, I believe.
And there's a shoe on the field.
5 yards.
It's talk about Pitcher Brightson.
Yep.
Lost her shoe.
Pitcher Brightson lost her shoe in the tackle.
First down, Canada.
Okay, Canada going with the same formation. Ashraf under center.
And Justine Barter in the back.
Snap and a quick handoff to Barter again, but she's stuffed this time. So we have 9:53 left in the second quarter.
Yes, Amy Satterfield got through very quickly, it looks like. Yeah, she was the one who tackled Barter.
1 yard.
She went straight through the middle for the tackle.
This time the Canadians went with the shotgun, and they throw a long pass, too far for her receiver. The intended receiver was number 83, Aaliyah Palmer.
Yeah, there was a little bit of hand-to-hand contact, and that slowed the receiver down. There was good blocking by the cornerback there.
So a little bit legal contact within the 5 yards, and no problem there.
It
Slowed her down.
5 yards, so it just slowed her down, which is why she wasn't where the pass was going.
So good defense by the U.S. Canada goes again in a shotgun formation. Snap is up, and they're going to do another quick pass. Intended receiver number 84. This time she was definitely overthrown. That ball was way out of bounds.
This was definitely overthrown.
Intended receiver was Whiten, Michelle Whiten.
4th down and 9.
So, 4th down, Canada's going to have to punt the ball.
Yeah, you got to pass accurately if you want to get any yards on this U.S. defense. We saw some running plays work well, but then they made adjustments and started stuffing those runs. So now Canada would need to actually start passing well to be able to move the chains. But
okay, the punt's up, and the punt's going back. Sowers gets it at her own 42, takes it up the field, now cutting back inside, and gets down to the 36.
And she is tackled there by number 12 on the Canadian team, Kendra Jones, the fullback we saw some nice blocking from.
Yes, it was.
And once again, she's the one who gets to the returner, so nice special team work by Kendra Jones.
Okay, we have a new back in the backfield there with Schmidt. It's Shockley. We have 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left for the U.S. Schmidt in at quarterback. Cannon in motion, a quick handoff to Cannon. Cannon goes out right, and her quick speed gets her down to about what looks like to be the 19.
And you see the defensive back, Patricia Echo Davis, basically tripping, and that's what let Cannon go through that lane.
Canada has an injured player, number 72, Melissa Daly, on the field. It was a nice quick, Cannon's got some speed. We saw the other day against Finland. She had 2 touchdowns called back for holding, but she ran probably 20 yards on both of them.
Yes, definitely. So if there's a lane open, she will go right through it. And this time, you know, unfortunate things such as tripping over something by a defensive back.
So you know that she's eager to get a touchdown after having 2 called back.
Definitely. I mean, it can be so frustrating to actually run so much and not actually have the touchdown on your stats. So she's playing with a chip on her shoulder, and she will probably try to get another touchdown, this time a legit one.
And it was on the same play that the U.S. ran this one, where she lines up as a receiver and comes running through and takes the handoff and goes up the right side. So just goes in motion and takes a quick handoff.
Looks like that's a play that was designed for her speed. And as you said, the U.S. team is making sure to use everyone on their roster for all these different plays, using their special abilities for the best. It's also nice work by the coaches, of course. Let's not forget the coaching on here.
True.
To be able to design plays that play to the player's strengths.
Yes, it's number 72 on Canada is still down on the field, Melissa Daly. The trainers are what looked like looking at her right knee. Hopefully she's all right. They're now helping her up. So that's a good sign.
She can't really step on that foot, so she needs to be helped to walk up the field.
So it looks like the U.S. will keep the same lineup in there. Schmidt at quarterback. Shockley the back. Cannon out to the left with Smith. And to the right we have Blum and Willenek. So with 8:52 left in the half, U.S. leading 30-0 over Canada.
First down, USA.
So the USA will have a 1st and 10 inside the 20. A quick handoff to Shockley, and number 38 gets into the backfield very quickly.
Lisa Rogers, linebacker for Team Canada. That was very nice defensive work by Rogers.
Let's see what happens.
See her line
Oh,
up
she
there.
doesn't even get
comes
blocked.
right through. There's no blocker on her.
Cannon in motion, Cannon back. Now we have 3 receivers out to the right for the U.S. Still shotgun. So that last play was blown up because there was no blocking.
So now the center was
Oh, nice
actually
pass
blocking
and
Rogers
catch
out.
by Schmidt to number 10, Smith.
Schmidt to Smith.
Schmidt to Smith. Tongue twister there. U.S. is going with that hurry-up offense. Still keeping 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And a fake handoff to Shockley, and Schmidt rolls right. Nobody to throw to. She keeps the ball, and she's still running. And she gets positive yards, and we have a penalty.
She was tackled by number 30, Lisa Rogers, the same linebacker who got through the middle on that 2 plays ago. Very nice work.
By the Canadian secondary, because there was no one open. So Schmidt had to tuck it and run.
Yeah, but also nice job on Schmidt's part on actually cutting back and running away from those tacklers.
Personal foul, number 63, Canada. Half the distance, automatic first down, USA.
Alana Waberski on the Canadian side committed a personal foul, so it sets back the Canadian defense, and it's an automatic first down. Yeah, after such a nice stop.
After they get that play and they go right up the middle, cause the U.S., and they actually didn't give Schmidt much running room, you know. So the U.S. goes with 46, Springer and Brickhouse in the backfield in I formation, and they hand it off to Brickhouse, who gets in for the touchdown.
Once again, huge blocking. I mean, Springer did an excellent job on the blocks, and there were 2 more players leading the way from Brickhouse, so it was an easy touchdown run.
Yeah, they put Gersafi back in there for that. So
yeah, this is one of those plays
where they use her as a lead blocker.
It's amazing how versatile she is.
So the U.S. going for the extra point again. This time it's a straight extra point, and it's up and it's good. So that'll make it the USA 37, Canada nothing with 7:35 left in the half.
And the score is now USA 37, Canada nothing. This drive was 5 plays, 37 yards, and took 20 minutes and 25 seconds.
So for all the good blocking the U.S. has done, one mistake makes Canada have a little hope, and then they snuff it out.
Yeah, it's got to be disheartening.
That's a good return set up there by Canada. They're going to get the ball. Oh, they didn't quite make it across.
Perhaps she could have tried cutting out to the outside lane.
She looked like she had a lane there to run to, but she decided to take it to the middle.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she didn't stay down the sidelines, because there was a lot of room there.
So it'll be a first down for Canada on their own 44, looks like.
Yeah, it's about the 44.
Canada needs to get something going here on offense if they're going to stay in this game, because they definitely would like to get a score before halftime. A quick pitch, 44. Patch is back in the game. She's the difference maker for Canada. We saw when she wasn't in the game, they didn't do much on offense. They put her right back in, and they get positive yards.
And Canada put in number 33, Erin Walton, lined up as fullback, and her block was also crucial on display. And she's, a very powerful blocker.
So Canada gets 6 yards on that play with Patch running the ball.
So Canada is using their running backs pretty efficiently, especially the fullbacks.
Canada under center.
Just need to see more yardage.
2 receivers to the right. A fake pitch, and they give it to the up back, who's number 33, which is Walton. And she's stuffed right away, right back. Maybe gets a yard. Yeah, she got maybe 2.
Yeah, the problem with this play was that it was kind of slowly executed. The fake would have been nice, but then the handoff needs to be really quickly executed afterwards. And it looks like Walton does not have the kind of speed to beat these would-be tacklers and shake them off. And a shift at fullback.
And a pitch to Patch, and she takes it out right and gets the first down, it looks like.
Yeah, the same play that they got the previous one.
First down. Patch on the road play.
There's a shift to the right.
Right for 6 yards.
And Walton, once again, does a good job of blocking out actually 2 defenders by pushing one at the other.
Yeah, that play definitely uses Patch's speed, and that's what Canada needs to take advantage of, because when they get her in motion and get her some speed behind her, she's able to turn it up when she gets to the outside and get positive yards.
Yeah, with these pitch plays, I mean, the good thing is that you can cut outside and the running back gets that ball in stride, but you have to be really fast because you're basically facing a lot of extra mileage.
Canada's quarterback is in trouble, and they're going to be dropped for a 12-yard loss at least, maybe more. And it looks like someone's injured on the play there from Canada. The U.S. was just coming on that one, and they came through, and is that number 4? Who is that that's injured?
It looks like it's Julie Page, actually.
That's not a good sign for Canada. Hopefully she's okay, but
9-yard loss on the sack.
Well, we saw what happened earlier with Austria when their star running back was taken out, and they were momentarily set back, and then their backup running back did a good job, but it was a huge deal for Austria to lose Michaelic, so it would be an even bigger problem for Canada to lose Julie Page, but it looks like she's up on her feet and running off to the side, so she should be back on the next play.
Not good to have her out of the game when Canada needs a big chunk of yardage now with that 9-yard loss. So we have 5:40 left in the half. Canada now in a shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 1 back. Offset. Snap is high. Ashriff hits her open receiver, number 82.
That's Alex Black again.
Yeah, her favorite receiver looks like today.
Yeah, and Black has done a great job at kick returns too. So
now right away it's going to be 3rd down and
target.
A makeable, what looks like, where are they going to spot the ball here? Interesting. Oh, there's a flag on the play as well.
And it looks like it's behind or right around the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be holding probably on Canada. Okay, it's going to be, maybe it's going to be against the U.S. Offside on the U.S. They're going to decline it because Canada got nice yardage on it. And Canada has about 7 yards to go for a 1st down, so that's makeable.
It's makeable, it's still alive, but
gives them hope. Canada in the shotgun. Snap is high again. She's in trouble now. There's a huge pressure, but she's got space to run. She looks to throw, and the pass is incomplete. For a second there, it looked like she could have tucked it and ran for the first down.
Yeah,
But
I thought she might be making a run for it, but then I think she looked at the yard markers and saw that she was really far away with a defender running right at her, so she just tried getting rid of it.
So good pursuit by the U.S. defense.
Yeah.
Canada has another player that's injured, and that looks like it's, I'm not going to guess on the number.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It's
Alex
82.
Black,
Yeah, I believe it
actually.
is. It is 80.
Looks like
Well,
it's number 82. I see
and
it too.
I see
Yeah,
it too.
so it
It's
is
actually
Alex.
62. So it is Andrea Weichel for Canada who's injured.
She's walking. She's walking.
She's walking off, maybe a stinger. Okay, Canada has fourth and still 4th and 7. Quarterback under center, I formation. She drops back, pressure by number 86, and she just throws it away. That's Olivia Griswold for the U.S. and number 5, Tracy Adams, who just pressured her. She had to get rid of the ball or take a big loss.
Yeah, nice pursuit by Team USA. So it's a turnover and downs, and it's first down, USA.
So the U.S. offense will take over. And Grisafi in at quarterback.
With less than 5 minutes to go in the first half.
With Springer in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right and left. Shotgun. Snap is good. Quick handoff to Springer, who goes right. Breaks a tackle and has huge running room. Gets a good block by number 9, Wilson, and she's going to go all the way. Nice block by Adrian Wilson.
Yeah, that was nice blocking out there because there were a couple of defenders who had a chance of catching up with Springer, but one of them gets blocked out. That's very nice blocking.
So huge run for Springer.
And Springer is fast.
Springer has a run touchdown.
But the block that set her free was by Wilson, so nice job by the Seattle Majestic Wilson.
Yeah, and a nice run by Springer.
And the USA is set up to go for 2. Go for 1. You can never tell.
Yeah, they still might be going
Snap
for 2.
is up. It's good. No problem. It's going to be 44-0 U.S. with 4:31 left in the half. So the U.S. offense goes out there right away, scores.
Yeah, this didn't take too long for them to do this.
And the score is now.
Once again, it's the blocking.
Blocking and poor tackling.
The drive.
Yeah.
We got to give credit. The blocking was good, but I believe Canada missed a couple of chances to bring her down as well.
Yeah, they did, and they didn't choose a good angle. I think it was number 10, the last person who was trying to chase her down, Lisa Harlow. She was right behind her. She might have tried to go for a horse collar. I mean, it's a penalty, but at least you try. She didn't even try to jump and get to her. She just kind of slowed down and let it go.
Huh. The kick was good, wasn't it?
I believe so.
So they should have.
Well, they should have looked at the referees actually signaling, but I saw it go really upright, so we'll see. Maybe it was actually wide. I'm sure the viewers actually saw what the referees were pointing to. We were too busy discussing the blocking and the tackling.
Canada back to receive again. Another kickoff by Williams. It's high. This time it bounces at the 35. Picked up by Black.
And she runs through some lanes.
She gets about 10 yards on that. Gets it to the 45.
She got tackled by Vasquez in the play. There was a nice special teams block by number 33, Walton there. She came all the way from the other side, so that was very nicely done.
Okay, U.S. defense and Canada in offset I. Two receivers to the right, one to the left, and a quick pitch
to Justine Martyr.
To Martyr.
Nice stiff arm and spin move.
Yes, gets her about 7 yards, maybe. Yeah, they spotted at 7. So nice run by Barter.
Second.
And from the point of contact, she managed to gain about 3 or 4 more yards just by
that spin
doing
move.
that spin move. Yeah, that always helps.
Second and 3.
Hand off to Barter, who gets the first down.
Nice power running for the first down by Barter. She just tucked it in, ran straight through the middle.
3 minutes, 38 seconds left in the half.
Breaking up big rocks on a chain gang. Breaking rocks in the city.
Ask for
breaking rocks out there on a chain gang. Breaking up big rocks on a chain gang. Breaking up big
The officials requested to measure whether it was indeed a first down.
Yeah, she has the first down.
It is indeed a first down.
You never know, though. We've seen some pretty bad spots of the ball.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, as a referee, it's hugely important to actually spot the ball well, because obviously it can hurt or help a team big time. Sometimes it's a matter of inches, you know, and she plays the ball accurately. It's crucial in that respect, and we've seen some really bad ball placement. So that's something to be worked on.
Okay, Canada in offset I and motion. Snap and a pitch to number 7 Barter, who runs right.
Nice block by
good
Walton.
block by Walton. That was a very good block.
Yeah, once again, the Canadian fullbacks are bringing it.
Is tackled by Satterfield.
Now standard pitch play, and Walton just blocks out.
Second and 2.
Number
Good one.
59.
That was a good one for the U.S.
That's good one. And then Barter took care of the rest.
Yes, she did. So they'll have 2nd and 2 for Canada. So Canada's putting together a decent drive here. Again, they would like to get out of the first half with at least some points. So it's important for them to keep this drive alive. Canada offset I, 2 receivers to the left. A fake pitch, and they hand it to Walton, who keeps it
and
up the middle.
For the first down.
And gets the first down to keep the drive alive.
That was a good play to run after that previous one, because you were expecting the same play because it was working so well, and with the fake, that it looked like it drew some defenders off to the side and opened up some lanes for Walton to run up the middle. Well done.
Canada offset I, they had a player in motion. She's now set, and a quick pitch to Barter. And this time the USA sniffs that out. We have 86, so Hinkle, number 30, and Griswold, number 86, on that play.
Yeah, together they made that
Loss
tackle.
of 4 yards, 2nd and 14.
So a loss of 4 on that play. It'll now be 2nd and 14 for Canada.
Yeah, as good as that previous fake play was after, the successful pitch. Going back to the pitch this time might not have been such a great idea, because the defense just sniffed it right away.
So here we go, single back. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and a quick handoff, and she is just pummeled.
Nowhere to go right there.
So who was that with the big hit for the U.S. there?
Oh, with the big hit from the USA. Let's see. I think it was about 2 people.
Timeout, Canada. This is the first charge timeout.
Well, I'd love to give credit there, but I can't really see who it was. It was coming up the middle.
It might have been Martin. I saw a 7. It was definitely.
Then it was
second
Martin.
digit was a 7, so I believe it was Martin.
That's the only
hit.
47, so that's the only 7 on the D line.
And she can bring that freight train power into it. Sometimes she just runs right up and finds the ball carrier.
She sniffed that one out and made her pay the price for carrying the ball. So it'll be 3rd down and what looks like 15 with 1:05 left in the half. So Canada was doing well there, progressing down the field, and the U.S. defense is now tightened up.
I think we've seen this before.
Yep. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, shotgun now for Canada, and we have motion on the Canadian line. It looks like number 50 moved for Canada.
It's going to be a full start call on number 50,
yeah.
Shirley Benson.
Shirley Benson costing her team.
Full start. Number 50, Canada.
So now it's going to be
3rd and 20.
3rd and 20.
Not good for Canada. With 1 minute left to go from the half.
Canada's going to have a huge play here. So they're in shotgun again. High snap. Ashworth keeps it, but she's got pressure. 47, Martin was back there. And 85, Marks was back there as well. And Golay. And a flag on the play. What the heck?
2 defenders in pursuit.
So what's the flag for?
Maybe it was that push.
Who pushed?
Or maybe she said something after him because the referee was right there.
Who pushed? Was it number 50 on Canada or the U.S. player that pushed?
I think it was the U.S. player, but you know they were trying to get to the quarterback. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I think the referee might have thought it was roughing the passer, but she was already throwing the ball away, so that was no call. Good.
So it's 4th down, and let's see what Canada decides to do here because they got a long ways to go.
Pretty sure they're going to go for it. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point.
Yeah, they got 58 seconds left in the half. Nothing to lose. So they bring the quarterback back in.
Turn her mic off again.
Yeah, that's getting painful.
You hurt their ears a little bit.
Yeah, Canada's going to go for it. So shotgun formation, single back, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's good snap. Sharp thrown and receiver. There was some confusion there because
I'm not sure what the receiver was supposed to be doing there, Charlie. She was just kind of jogging up the sideline.
Yeah.
But Justine Barger, the tiny running back, actually put in a good block to protect the passer. So it was good work by the running back.
The U.S. is going with Schmidt at quarterback. And I believe they have Brickhouse in the backfield. That is correct. With Wilson and Cannon to the right. And Welleneck. And I'm not sure who the other receiver is out there. Motion. And a quick handoff to Wilson, who brings it out to the left side, up the sideline, steps out of bounds with 47 seconds left. She got the first, it looks like.
Wilson on the run.
So this was a well-executed play from motion. This is what you gotta do. You gotta hand it off quickly. The timing has to be right.
And it was there on that play for a big gain for the U.S.
Except
but there's a flag on the play again, and the U.S. is walking back,
so it looks like it's a penalty.
Personal foul, face mask on the offense USA. Picking up penalty for spot of foul, Still first down.
Huh.
So we got a face mask penalty. They didn't say who, but it was against
Interesting
the
to
US.
have a face mask on the offense, but somebody grabbed it for some reason.
Might have been during a block.
Yeah. More often than not, you see those on tackles as opposed to blocks, but sometimes you get your hands up in the face and they're going to call it. And so that brings the U.S. way back to their own 30-yard line with 36 seconds left in the half. Snap, and quarterback keeper Schmidt keeps it. She's got a lot of running room, getting some blocks, and she cuts it back into the middle, still room, and she's down at the 45 of Canada.
Taken down by Laurel McInnes of Canada. There was a huge block here. Number 25 has just blocked that for about an hour. So Schmidt had a lot of room to cut back through and had a nice lane up there. Finally taken down by McInnes there.
Now we have Shockley in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Schmidt still the quarterback in a shotgun. A snap, quick handoff to Shockley. She goes left, cuts up the middle, keeps going, still on her feet all the way down to the 30 with 6 seconds left in the game.
So we got time for
Well, not in the game, in the half.
Timeout. USA.
And the USA takes a timeout.
On the tackle also, Social Kill.
So I guess the US is trying to put more points on the board before the half ends, just to make sure.
Yeah, well, the U.S. wants to make sure they have their opponent severely beaten before they go in at half. They don't want to give them a chance. I know the coaching staff does not want it to have the other team feel like they have some life. And so it was huge that the U.S. was able to stop them on defense to absolutely do that, because had Canada got it, they would have felt like they could get back in the game. And the U.S. wants to put a score on the board here and say, hey, Canada, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and they want to just
demoralize them.
Demoralize them, beat down all resistance, and have a team that comes out to the second half basically giving up. But I don't think Canada's actually going to give up. Canada's
I don't
a tough
either.
Team. And now they don't have much to lose. They're just going to come out in the second half and fight.
Game's not over. There's a whole half still left to be played. So,
yeah, and as we said,
6 seconds left on the. Here, the U.S. is shifting all the way to the right here. They got their linemen down, and they throw to Sowers. It looks like, and she's going to score.
Yeah,
there you go, just like that. 6 seconds. The USA go ahead and do that.
They were trying to draw the defense here, but they were actually doing a good job of staying there. But then they
bad
number
coverage.
21 just kind of blew her coverage off Sowers right there.
It looked like she lost where the ball was, and Sowers never lost sight of it and caught it and turned and was easy touchdown.
You got to keep track of that ball when you're a defensive back.
So the U.S. is going to go for an extra point. Snap is good. Williams kicks it, and it is good. So
they did accomplish what they wanted by the end of this half, and it's
okay.
US 51.
The extra point.
So they did give that point back from earlier.
It looks like.
After the first half.
So it's USA 51, Canada nothing at the end of the half. So that powerful U.S. offense has come out again, and the defense is held.
Yep, they just methodically driving down the field. It's very, very efficient. It's just scary. I mean, facing this team is just really scary for everyone. But Canada is not going to give up.
No.
They're going to come out fighting. And as we saw in the previous game, Germany came back from a 26-point deficit to almost tie the game by the end.
Correct.
So,
yeah, I'm sure the coaches on the U.S. will make sure they remind the players, as coaches will do, and they'll just tell the players come out and play like it's 0-0 because they don't want to let up. And Canada's going to come out and try to score and get some momentum going.
Can we mention Facebook as well? If they
sure.
Like to put
if people want to put questions on Facebook, we'll gladly answer them.
Maybe we can reply to them after the break that we have.
We'll take a break and then we'll come back to them. Question. So go ahead and if you got anything you want to put, a shout out to people out there, go ahead. And Fisher told me that her team, the Portland Shockwave, was going to be watching this game. So if there's any fans out there, she said to say hi. And we've got 2 players from the Shockwave on the team, Leah Hinkle and Jana Fisher.
And also, let's welcome the Canadian fans who are watching.
So please go ahead and
keep watching. There's going to be more.
Yes, definitely. We'll mention you too. We've got no problems. We're equal opportunity here.
Yeah, go ahead, ask questions, send us some shout outs. We promise we'll read them.
There's a question of what quarterback was in for that last touchdown there.
I think it was Schmidt, but I don't actually remember anymore. But
I believe you're correct.
I believe it was Schmidt because the kind of play that it was.
Shall we wrap it up for this, take the break?
Yes, we'll take a break right now.
All right.
Going to see you in the second half.
Yep, I'm on.
All right. As long as you're all right.
All right, we're back here, and the weather is quite nice here in Sweden. It's in the early evening, and we're in that time of year in Sweden where it doesn't get dark till really late, so the sun is out.
It doesn't even really get dark. It gets the darkest around 11, 12 o'clock, midnight, but it's not even completely dark then.
There's a slight breeze, but it's a really beautiful evening here in Stockholm.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. During the day, it was really, really hot out here. And some people were asking us about the weather, and we keep saying it's unusually hot for Stockholm, but it's been summer weather here. We had one day when it was kind of windy and overcast, but today, once again, it was close to 30 Celsius.
Very nice. There's a lot of Canadian and U.S. fans watching this live feed. So the Canadian fans are rooting on their team, and we've seen comebacks before. If you watch the NFL, teams have come back from huge margins, so teams never give up, and I'm sure Canada will not. So the U.S. is going to have to come out and play, and Canada will come out fighting in the second half.
They're definitely not giving up, and I mean, there's no reason to give up if you're any kind of player, as we said.
So, I mean, comments just of people very proud. Both teams have made a monumental accomplishment. This is the first ever championship for women's football, and both teams made it to this championship game, and both teams have got a lot to be proud of. Win or lose,
and
both teams.
all teams at this championship, I mean, all 6 teams have brought their best, and they, you know, especially the European teams have been pretty evenly matched in terms of strength. And we saw some really, really good tight games earlier today, so if the viewers are following that or maybe check it later, both the 5th place game and the bronze game were really close contests and very exciting finishes in both cases. So we've seen some great football being played here, and that's the most important thing. And as some of our comments say on Facebook, it doesn't matter what the score is really. What matters is that there are women playing great football here, and that we're all really, really proud of them.
I would agree with you, Anna. That's what it's all about. It's about these ladies out here playing football and being the first to make history, playing this great game. And hopefully there'll be another one and many more after that.
Yeah, they're planning another World Championship in 3 years, in 2013. And hopefully there will be even more teams attending then from around the world.
Okay, Canada's going to kick off to the U.S. It's a kick up the middle. It bounces. Sowers will get it, and she's going to take it to the left hash. She's going to now head towards the numbers. Now she's coming back across to the right hash and running around and gets tackled by number 81 from Canada, Lori Boyles.
Yeah, we see that again.
And Canada has another
The U.S. special team is doing a great job tracking down where Sowers is and actually making those key blocks for her to find some lanes open. But we do have a Canadian player on
number 22.
Patricia Echo Davis is down.
I think she just didn't see the block coming and when she went to the ground. When you're on special teams, you got to have a swivel, your head on a swivel and look both ways because those blocks come fast and furious.
Yes, I know that from experience. I was on a kickoff team once and got hit. Actually, it was an illegal block in the back, but you know, obviously you can't have eyes in the back of your head. But I got pushed from the back and I basically fell and broke one of my ribs.
So she's up and walking off the field, so I believe she'll be fine. And so the U.S. offense is going to start out. We have Brickhouse and Pickett in the backfield with Grisafi at quarterback.
Timeout for an injured player. We have first down USA.
Oh, it's not Pickett. Oh, excuse me. It was Wellenek in the backfield. Interesting for the U.S.
That's around 7 yards.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in that position. I mean, she's
No.
a wide receiver. She
Yes, she
lined up
is.
at tailback. She got the pitch and
Young
she cut
at
back
tackle.
to the right and went up that lane. That
Second
was open
down.
for her.
And 4.
So now we have Springer and Cannon in the backfield. Interesting. The U.S. is using their wide receivers in the backfield.
One of the few plays from an I formation.
What number for Canada was
It was 22, and she went off the field on her own power.
Cuts back and
It was Cannon who got the ball
about 15 yards.
and got 15 yards on the play.
Tackle by Degrees.
She was tackled by Jen
Ball
DeGeese.
is at
Number
Canada's
11.
30.
So now it's Pickett, and Pickett gets the pitch. Pickett off to the left. She breaks one tackle, keeps driving, gets down to the 15.
And this was that play where the quarterback goes up to block, which they usually use Grisafi on, but this time it was Gallegos at quarterback, and she also put in a very nice block to open up the lane.
Now we have Springer and Shockley in for the U.S. So the U.S. is going with a single receiver out to the right and I formation. Grisafi at quarterback. And a pitch to Shockley. She follows Springer's block, cuts into the inside, keeps driving, and is in for the score. So a nice run by Shockley there.
And it was Grisafi's favorite play where she can run up and block, and she puts in the block right there.
And then Shockley
Also
did the
gets a
rest.
little push.
So a nice block by Grisafi, nice block by Springer, and Shockley just drove into the end zone.
16 yards.
Yeah, with a tackler hanging onto her. Nice job.
Good leg drive. Here we go. We're going to have extra point attempt. The snap was a little low, but the kick is still good. And the U.S. leads 57.
And the Women's adds the extra point.
58 now,
The score is
2-0.
now USA
9:56 left in the third quarter.
And we do have the scoreboard
So the U.S.
updated.
starts where they left off.
Exactly. Well, we haven't seen Canada on offense in the second half yet, so they had to start by kicking the ball off to the U.S. So now they will get a chance to show us whether the halftime speech from the coaches worked.
Yes, we'll see if they come out with a little fire in their belly and drive down the field. Now, as we have seen, Canada's had some success. They just, when it gets down to that last play where they need the yardage,
And
the
they
U.S.
panic.
defense steps up.
Yeah, the U.S. defense just tightens up whenever the ball gets closer to their own end zone. So they always manage to stop the Canadian offense at that point. And sometimes you see that from teams that they manage to put together a good drive down the field, and then they got so happy about that they get a little bit sloppy. So
Yeah, lose focus.
Sometimes they lose focus on them, and that's when the defense can tighten up and actually kill that drive. So it's a dangerous thing to, you know, be sort of complacent with the
Looks like Canada
situation.
now has number 7 Barter back to receive the kick, along with 82 Black. That's a change for Canada. And the kick is going to go to Black. She's going to pick it up on the bounce at the 29.
There's
Comes
some
out
nice
left, has
blocks.
some nice blocks and a lot of running room. And it looks like Pringle's going to make a tackle there, but that's a great start for Canada.
Very nice work by the blockers and special teams. Look at how they trace their people. Black cuts out to the left down the sideline.
Got tackled by Pringle.
He's not afraid to just run straight ahead, even if they are three
And it'll be
defenders.
on the 34 of the U.S. And this is great field position for Canada.
This is great because the previous drives, when they actually managed to drive down the field, they started way back in their own territory. So this time they got the ball in U.S. territory. Let's see what they can do with it.
So the Canada has an offset eye in motion. Is number 83, Palmer. She sets. It's a quick pitch to Barter. She's running behind her blocker. And, oh, she does not get anywhere, although she had Jones, I believe, blocking for her.
Yeah, and Jones tried
Walton,
to put in
excuse
those
me.
blocks, but since Barter kept running out to the sideline, there were a lot of people in chase. It was just not working out too well.
That was
And-
Walton who was there, and it looked like it was going to be a good play, and the U.S.
Yeah.
just...
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We kept saying Jones, but it was actually Erin Walton, number 33, lined up as fullback. So yeah, I think she was a little bit sloppy with that block, so she just kept touching.
She needs to
the
drive
shoulder
through
pads.
with that block.
Yeah.
So Canada on offset eye again, and they give it to the deep back, with the tailback, which is number 7 Barter, and she gets a couple yards on that. This time they try to go up the middle instead of running it to
Marks and Hinkle.
Yeah,
Either
instead
side.
of running that pitch play to the right,
3-yard gain.
but it didn't
38.
really get them more yardage.
Here we go. We're third down. Canada had a great run back on the kickoff, get good starting position, and then they stall.
Yeah, this is the story of this game so far.
I got it.
So Canada lines up, but single back, 4 receivers. And it is
Oh,
the pass out to the right, but nicely defended by the U.S.
Ashraf pass is incomplete.
So it was supposed to be a screen. It was a little bit
It
too
didn't
high,
go
so
right.
the receiver had to jump up to get it.
Fourth
Ready
down
for Michelle
and 8.
Wyden.
so it's 4th and 8 for Canada. They're going to go for it. There's no
Yeah,
reason to
there's no
punt the
reason
ball
not
at this
to.
point. If they get a first down, they can possibly put some points on the board.
And if not, they're still not
So
at
Canada
that
has,
spot.
well, maybe they are going to punt it. They actually are going to punt it, and that is not a
It's
good
out of
kick.
bounds.
Kick went maybe 10 yards, but they got no return, so they push the USA back, which is what they want. Push them back a little bit, and the U.S. is going to start at their own 24.
No return.
I'm kind of surprised they decided to punt it away. I
First down
mean,
and 10
I
USA.
guess they just want to, their tactic is they want to push the U.S. back as far and make them have a long field to go. and hopefully hope they can hold it and get the ball back. That thing was up, and I put my foot in it. Okay, the U.S. has what looks to be Springer and Pickett, I believe, in the backfield, and one receiver out to the right. The U.S. pitches to Pickett. She runs off the block. No, it's Brickhouse. And Brickhouse gets out to the 31. So
and gets tackled by Laurel McInnes.
First down, gains 9 yards. McInnes on a
Nice
tackle.
move back by the defensive back McInnes. She was going to the right, but then she noticed Brickhouse coming around to her left and dove right back for that tackle. She barely got the ankles, but that was enough
to make the tackle. But the U.S. drove their 2nd and about 3. A pitch to Springer, blocked by Brickhouse. Springer takes it out to the outside, has no running room, but she's got the first down and gets a couple more yards after that. So nice job by Springer.
Yeah, nice job cutting back, and nice job powering through these tackles. Look at that. She has to have 3 defenders hanging on to her to be tackled. So that means her feet kept moving, as they should in running plays.
The U.S. is sticking with their running game, and pounding the ball and run the clock. Springer and Wyman in the backfield. Grisafi under center. Now pitch to Wyman. She fumbles the ball, fumbles it, and recovers it. She never got her hands on that, and it was a decent pitch.
Yeah,
so Wyman just lost control of that.
It was her. Yeah, she never really got her hands on it.
Nothing wrong with the pitch. Yeah, crocodile arms, a little short-armed it there. Normally you see that with receivers, but maybe she saw somebody coming and took her eyes off the ball.
Yeah, exactly. You never take your eyes off the ball, because the moment you do, the ball you think you have goes right through your hands.
So now we have what looks like Brickhouse and Wilson in the backfield. Yep, Wilson takes the pitch and gets maybe 2 yards on that.
That was a good stop by Canada.
So it's 3rd and 8 for the U.S.
Wilson on the run. Three-yard gain, 3rd down and 8. Tackle by Coleman.
Okay, Gallegos in at quarterback, and a pitch to Danny Lynn Wellenek, who drives, doesn't quite get the first down. Well, let's see where they spot it, about a yard short.
See some nice blocking out there too to make lane for her, but number 6 in Canada was right on there. Young and Harlow were on it.
So the U.S. is going to punt. So this will be the first time we...
It's first time this game, second time this tournament that we actually see this.
And as we saw the last time that Sheriff punted, she punted 2 times in the Finland game, correct?
I think it was only once in that game.
It was 1 time.
So this is the second time we see her punt.
She's got a foot. She's able to really kick this ball, so we'll see if she gets off a good punt here. She's got time. Canada comes, but she gets a really nice punt. Bounces over the receiver's head, and it takes a good bounce for the U.S. all the way down to the 10, and we're going to have a personal foul, I believe.
I had a Colin block my view. Did you see what happened?
It looked like the U.S. hit the player, and they threw a flag. So I'm not sure if we have a replay of it.
US, it looks like.
Let's see. No, I don't believe we do have a replay. But I believe that's going to be on the U.S.
39 yard.
But the punt went all the way to the 10. It was a really nice punt by Sheriff.
Yeah, very nice.
She's a very good punter, has a long distance on the ball, and always gets a nice roll.
Yeah, and as far as kicking and punting goes, especially kicking, place kicking, I think US and Canada has a lot more experience with that. The European teams usually try to go for it too on extra points because there's just not a lot of special teams work on that teams usually have time for.
First down, Canada.
So, personal foul on Rusty Sowers.
Well, that's the first.
Yep. But that helps Canada out, gives them the ball on their own 25.
That gives them an extra 15 yards.
Instead of being on the 10, they'll take it.
Definitely better field position. So yeah, kicking a field goal or even an extra point requires a lot of complicated moves and a lot of precision. So that's why European teams are still kind of behind on that. They're focusing on other aspects of the game.
Another flag.
Play, false down. Number 83, Canada. 5-yard penalty.
So Canada gets penalty that helps them, and then they lose 5 yards by making a mistake.
Yeah,
Not
so
a good way to start your first drive in the second half.
Right after you gain some yards, you lose some again. Penalties, once again, problematic for the team.
First down at 15.
So Canada comes up to the line with 1st and 15, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and offset I. And a pitch to Barter. Barter takes it to, oh, she's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, there was
of
no
5.
room to go that way. Well, she might have been able to cut up to her left, but she was following her blocker and didn't actually look down the field.
Had she looked down the field, she could have cut up, maybe made positive yards.
There was a little bit of room there, so if she had seen that, but it looked like she was really just following her blocker.
Sometimes you have to go off that blocker when there's nothing there, and some players who don't have enough experience don't do that.
Right.
There's a quick handoff and a quick stuff by the U.S. defense. It was number 62, I believe. That's Fisher.
Let's talk about Fisher.
And you were correct.
Loses 1 yard. 3rd and 20.
So it's 3rd and 20 for Canada.
3:41 left in the third quarter. Canada's not looking too well on this drive.
No.
Mental mistakes, blocking's not there. Let's see what they can do. We have motion. And a handoff to Barter, and again she goes nowhere.
As you can see the U.S. defense communicating really well and basically anticipating that motion by Canada.
Loss of 1 yard, 4th and 21.
So now Canada's punting from deep in their own territory, which should give the U.S. good field position, and that is absolutely not what Canada wanted to do.
Yeah, this didn't really go anywhere for Canada.
Interesting, we got stoppage in the play. An ambulance came into the facility, and I don't know if the referees thought maybe that was for somebody here, but not sure what's going on with that, but we'll get back to the game. As our viewers can see in the distance. So the play, oh, Canada takes a safety. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting move.
The snap went off, and the punter decided that she wasn't going to get it off, so she just took a knee. A smart play.
Yeah, it is a smart play because, I mean, what are you going to do?
So that'll give the U.S. 60 points, and the Canada will come back with a free kick.
The score is now USA 60, Canada.
Yeah, this way they will end up with a better position on defense.
So now, no idea why we have an ambulance over there.
Well, we have one of the EMTs
over there talking. There is a Canadian player sitting down, but she doesn't, from what we can tell, doesn't look like there's anything wrong, but apparently somebody called the ambulance.
Yeah, there might be a head injury that we didn't actually notice.
Maybe
before.
it's probably just precautionary.
Yeah.
So Canada kicks it, and it goes out of bounds at the 39.
The free kick by Moore goes out of bounds. Then there is a flag on the play.
And the flag is for the kick going out of bounds.
So the U.S. will just take the ball, and they won't make them re-kick it. So can't quite see who they're talking to, but definitely is a Canadian player on the sideline. It's number 23, and they're looking at her head and her neck. So number 20.
Christina Goulet. Remember when she was down on the ground, she had to be taken out of the game. So might be a head injury.
She looks like she's okay over there, but I believe that they're doing this as a precautionary measure to make sure that everything is okay with her, which is smart. So just to be on the safe side. As I said, you can see that she's sitting on the bench over there, and they're just checking her out.
Yeah, it's very important because head injuries for football players.
Yeah, no need to take a chance with that.
It looks like the U.S. has elected to make Canada re-kick that free kick.
Interesting. So they're pushing them back and making them re-kick this from 5 yards further. So Moore kicks it, and it's a really good punt. Takes a bounce, and Sowers misjudges it a little bit, and she's just going to let it roll. Oh, there's going to no flag on that? Yeah, okay, there was a play. There was definitely a push in the back.
Yeah, definitely.
Not sure who it was on the U.S. who did that, but no question there was a push in the back.
There's a flag on appeal.
So 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the third quarter. U.S. leads 60-0 after that safety by Canada's punter. The ensuing free kick, and we're waiting to see what the flag is.
On the return, illegal block in the back, number 89, USA. 10 yards penalty for end of kick, first down Canada.
So it was Relnick with the block in the back.
So Canada gets the ball.
Well, they actually, yeah, they got the ball. They recovered the kick. But I think on a free kick, though, they can't get the ball back, can they? Because at kickoff, they can if they actually recover it after 10 yards. But this time, I think the U.S. team kind of treated it as a punt. But what are the rules of a free kick? I'm not sure because I never had to do
Because
a
the
free kick
ball,
after
the
safety.
U.S. Sowers allowed it to bounce, and then there was the push, and Canada must have recovered it. Somebody on the
Canada
U.S. must have
definitely recovered it, so someone must have touched
somebody must have touched it, which meant it was a live ball. Therefore, Canada recovered it, and it's their ball. That's a big mistake by the U.S.
So the referees are now conferencing about this. It's possible that no one on the U.S. team touched it because it was a free kick. So
Okay,
right,
they
did overturn it. See,
yeah. So the confusion is settled.
It was
Yeah.
a free kick after the safety, which means the other team needs to have the ball.
As we've seen, the officials confused once again. As, of course, we were trying to figure out what was going on in between the ambulance and the officials. We had a little confusion here.
Yeah, we did, but it's a good thing that the referees actually figured it out before play started. So.
USA at their own 33.
So the U.S. will start out at their own 33, 1st and 10. Grisafi in at quarterback. And looks like Brickhouse in the backfield with, I believe, number 1, Cannon.
Yes, it is number 1.
And the U.S. has one receiver out wide to the right, which looks like, who is that?
I can't get a read on the numbers.
It's Rusty Sowers, I believe, number 21.
Yeah, it is. No, it's number 31.
Is it 31?
Yes.
Angela Banstra?
Interesting.
So it's a pitch to Cannon. And she's in the open field. Watch out if she gets a running lane. She's going to keep going. She's determined.
Wow, there were a couple of missed tackles there by Canada.
So we'll see this again. And
There's number 22 missing, number 22 missing again. It was sort of an arm tackle.
And
Canada
finally, number
doing a good
40
job at shifting.
from
Number
Canada
40,
brings her down.
Brewer. Jacqueline
Jacqueline Brewer.
Well, Cannon is definitely a determined runner when she gets out there. And we have another injured player down on the field for Canada.
Back,
all the way down
38.
at where the play started, down about the 22.
It's Lisa Rogers. I think it's number 38.
Yep, it's number 38, which is Lisa Rogers.
We're looking at her lower back.
So 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third quarter, and we're stopped for an injury time. And she's walking off the field, which is a good sign. It looks like she's okay.
And we do have an ambulance here with the EMT crew, so I'm sure she's going to be able to get more attention on the sideline.
So we've seen quite a few players go down for Canada today.
Yeah, as we said earlier, you know,
3 games takes their toll.
In 1 week takes its toll.
And so now the U.S. has what looks like Springer in the backfield, Schmidt at quarterback, Banstra wide to the right, and also Pickett in the backfield, I believe. And it's a pitch to Pickett, who runs off to the right, follows her blocks, cuts a little bit in the middle, and is being driven back.
Nice drive back by Canada's number 30, Adrienne Dupont.
6 yards. It's tackled by Dupont.
She goes right in there and pushes back. Very
Pickett was
nicely.
running a little too much straight up. She
Yeah,
needs to
she-
lower down so her balance was high,
Her
and it was
balance
easy
is
for them
high.
to dry her back.
That's what they always tell you, that, you know, don't
Lower
go up
your
high,
shoulders.
Lower your shoulders, stay down. I mean, that's when you get a bit sloppy with things.
Now we have Brickhouse and Shockley in the backfield. One receiver wide left. And Gallegos, the pitch is to Shockley, who runs it to the left, cuts it back to the middle, finds a lane, and drives to what looks like the 13.
And it's tackled by number 63, Alana Waberski from Canada's defense. That was nice reading the blocks by Shockley. Going up the open lanes, cutting to the left and
And
to
a
the
nice
right.
block by Gallegos as well down there, down the
First
field.
down, USA.
All the U.S. quarterbacks get down the field and throw nice blocks when it's running plays. So that's something you don't see all the time from quarterbacks.
And it's a huge weapon when you have a quarterback who can block well.
Now we have
gives you a lot
Springer
of
and
different
Brickhouse
tools to work with.
and Grisafi under center. And motion by Banstra, a quick pitch to Brickhouse, and Brickhouse gets stopped at the 7.
Brickhouse
Now Schmidt's going in at quarterback.
gets 4 yards.
Yeah, once again we see a lot of nice blocks, basically cutting off the defenders from the runner.
Tackled by Echo Davis. Second down and 6.
So the U.S. is holding up 4. So that's a play that they're doing. So it's the 4th quarter. And they know it. That's why they're all holding up 4.
Yeah,
so the time just ran out in the 3rd quarter. It's the 4th quarter, and they know they're that closer to the gold medal. And so the U.S. players are all holding it up. They know this is the last quarter, last 12 minutes of the championship, and they're going to keep playing.
Of course they are.
So let's see who the U.S. has in there. I believe Schmidt went in at quarterback. And they're placing the ball at the right hash. And they've got Springer and Brickhouse in with Schmidt at quarterback. And wide to the left is still number 31, Banstra. See what the U.S. does here on the 7-yard line. It's a quick pitch to Brickhouse.
That was a very nice block out there.
So we had some good blocks, but Brickhouse doesn't quite get to the end zone. Let's see this again. Oh boy, Springer just took that number 11 off her feet.
Yeah, Jen DeGeese was just laid out.
And so now they put in Wyman and take Springer out. DeGeese will be very happy to see Springer's not in there anymore after that hit.
Yeah,
And Gallegos in at quarterback. And a pitch to Wyman, and as she runs it and does not get in. Good job by the Canadian defense.
Yeah, good job. Two defenders were right on the ball carrier, which is what you should do in this
So now Grisafi's going in and Springer.
Young and Brewer on the tackle.
And Brickhouse is coming out.
4th down
And Wyman is
and
out
short.
as well, and Gallegos. So as we can see, they haven't taken away the Canadian player, so they're keeping an eye on her over there on the sideline. Okay. U.S. is making a lot of changes. And the U.S. took a timeout. So let's see what they're going to do here.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of personnel changes out there. And looks like Brickhouse is back in.
Ten minutes and 32 seconds left in the 4th quarter. U.S. leading 60-0 in the championship game of the first Women's World Championship of the IFAF. All right, now let's see what the U.S. ends up doing here. They're going to give it to Springer right up the middle. She's going to take the snap and just go up the middle.
Yeah, we've seen that play before, and we see that push.
Oh, there was nothing there, so she just did a smart play and took it to the outside.
Yeah, that was very nice move by Springer. Just good recognition of what's going on because the Canadian defense is all over that play. She just comes out to the back and runs it in. Good presence of mind, you know.
I believe the U.S. coach is trying to get Springer the MVP, giving her what I believe is her
fourth. Third. Well, yeah,
we don't have a
we
statistician
don't have
here,
the
and
stats, unfortunately.
67 points. So Sally Maple in to kick the extra point and hits the upright, and it's no good.
Extra point fails.
So now we have 66. U.S. 66. or 67.
Maple.
No, it should be
It can't be
66.
67
It's 60.
because it was 60, so
66.
the scoreboard reads 66. I think
Yeah,
our
no,
scoreboard should read 66 as
Yeah,
well.
it's 66 because they missed the extra point.
Is USA 66, Canada nothing. This drive was 7 plays, 65 yards, and took 3 minutes 46 seconds. And this was Springer's 4th touchdown.
So
It was her fourth.
It was her
You were
4th
right.
touchdown. So definitely she's the candidate for the MVP, and I
Yeah.
think that was the reason for getting her that other that extra touchdown.
Probably. It's a good day for her then.
That's my guess.
Yeah, Sauer's got the MVP for the first 2 games.
That's correct.
Right? So yeah, they need someone else to be on the board for that.
So the U.S. is going to kick it off, and it looks like Sheriff is going to kick off this time. So a little change there, and nice booming kick up the middle. It's going to be returned straight up the middle. A lot of room to run. Black attempts to cut it to the right, but is stopped. But still a good run back.
Yeah, it was a good run back.
She gets to the 45.
15-yard on the kickoff return.
You know, she
She
might be a candidate for MVP for Canada.
Absolutely.
Special
She's had a
teams
very
work.
good game.
Yeah.
45.
Answer to the question there from somebody on Facebook, no one has scored even a single point against, obviously you can't score a single point, but even 2 points against the U.S. The U.S. has shut out all their opponents in this tournament. And let's see if that trend continues. We still have 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game. Canada an offset eye, and we got whistles, so the play is going to be blown dead.
So then it was probably a false start in Canada.
Yes, normally when they blow the play dead, that's what happens, right?
Yes, well, there are a couple other things that blow the play dead, but
False start.
this
Number
is the most
81,
common one.
Canada. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So once again with the penalties.
Yeah, so we'll have a little polka music. Not quite polka.
Yeah,
What
but
is this?
I don't even know.
Cajun music?
Beer garden music.
We have beer garden music.
Oktoberfest music.
There you go.
Put a little bit of synthesizer in there too.
Now we get a little rock and roll.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I'm talking about.
Canada takes a timeout. So a lot of these, several of the U.S. players are going to go back and in a week and play in some conference championships games. So a lot of them will keep playing football, and a lot of the other players, their season's over. So
Then they're gonna just take some rest.
yep. So
Until the
we'll
next
see what
one
happens.
starts.
There are 4 teams left in each tier in the IWFL championship still left to be completed. Some of the Canadian players also who play on the Montreal Blitz, an undefeated team in Tier 2, will be playing as well. Here we go, offset eye, handoff to number 33.
Erin Walton,
And she's stopped in the backfield.
she goes about
Loses the yard.
minus
Tackled
1 yard.
by Griswold.
The Canadian team
Second and 16.
just doesn't really look like they're,
That
how
they
should
can
we
do
say,
anything.
yeah, that they can do anything here. Every time they look like they get some momentum,
Then they lose it on something. A
something
mistake,
causes them.
penalty.
So, and they, to me, this drive, they're looking Maybe it's all the stoppage we've had on this drive. So it's second.
Yeah, that takes away a lot of momentum.
And 16? No, second and 15. Offset I, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Drop back to pass. The quarterback now is number.
Very nice
catch. They changed their quarterback, and it's number 9.
And it was to Lori Boyles.
So nice job by Jana Taylor.
Is complete to Boyles.
That was a great pass and
First
an even
down.
better catch. I mean,
So,
Boris had to
there we
reach out
go.
to grab
Tackle
it.
is
The Canadians
made by
have a
Rydell.
nice play after we were talking about all the
See,
stoppages and
never doubt
everything.
the football players. They will always keep fighting.
9 minutes and 12 seconds left in the game. Canada's still got a chance to put some points on the board and be the first team to score against the U.S. Offset I, some motion. Number 25, 85, excuse me. This play's blown up.
Yeah, there was an issue with the handoff right there. It was not executed well. The timing was off
Lots of
between the
yards for
quarterback
Hooker.
and the backs.
It was Coralie Hooker, number 36, into the game.
5 yards. Second and 15.
So Canada is putting some players in there to let them get some experience, it looks like, because we haven't seen any of these players before, which now we have still 36 in the backfield. Taylor under center, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Taylor drops back to pass, and she gave a quick handoff there.
And we saw a nice
that-
block back there by Hooker.
No, that was Taylor actually running. That was a nice block there that kind of made the play look.
Yeah, Hooker actually did
Taylor
a nice
on the
block
right.
in the backfield there, and that set off the play.
Tackle
That was
by
nice.
Goulet.
Didn't gain many yards though, unfortunately.
2 yards on the play.
So-
Third down and 13.
Taylor drops back to pass, rolls to her left, got pressure, and she's sacked by Danielle Goulet, number 43.
See this, the running back was trying to roll with it to try to block the linebacker, but that
Loss of 5
was not
yards.
enough. She was just not fast
Fourth
enough to
down
get
and
an
18.
angle on the block.
So it'll be 4th down, and let's see what Canada decides to do with 7 minutes left in the game. The U.S. has not failed to score less than 60 points in any one of their games.
Yeah,
63 in their
they've been
first
steamrolling.
game, 72 in their second, and now 66 points. And Canada is going to punt the ball. Who do we have back? No,
And it was a
they
fake
fake
punt.
and not going to be quite enough for the first down, but it was a nice attempt.
Play,
It was
and
a nice
went
play.
to
Number 30.
Andriane Dupont-Parent.
So nice effort by the Canadians.
Yeah, it was a nicely executed
Ball
fake
on
punt,
the
and
pass.
it went about 12 yards.
The U.S. was expecting something like that because they had 2 people back, because normally they just have Rusty Sowers back there. So good job by the coaches on the U.S. side.
A tackle by
Although
Rydell.
the play was nearly successful, they did have the right personnel in. Had
Yeah,
had they been set up for a kick,
And it might have been,
it would have been
a first
successful.
down, yeah.
So the U.S. has
The ball at the 35-yard
at the
line.
35 and an eye with Brickhouse and Wilson. Wilson takes the pitch off to the right.
Runs up that diagonal lane, but gets tackled
That's
after
not a-
about 5 yards.
The Canadian team, there was a play over here, and the U.S. player was just continuing to block, which is perfectly legal, and the Canadian bench was getting a little upset over there, but it was a legitimate play down the field. You couldn't see it on the camera.
A gain of 6, second and 4.
Okay, the U.S. has Springer in the backfield, Schmidt under center, and a pitch to Willenek. who drives and may get, no, they won't spot it for a first down. It'll be short.
That was a nice wrap around by number 20, Julia Coleman on the Canadian team. Good tackle.
Tackle by Coleman.
She wrapped her arms around
Close to
Valniak
first
and did
down.
not let go. So even though there was once again a great block by Springer to lead the way, good tackling by.
And they're going to measure this. So they're bringing out the chains.
Can Manuela Elaine Scott come up to the announcer's box in the stands? Manuela Elaine Scott, please.
Yep, the U.S. gets a first down on that. Nice job by Wellinack.
Nicely done.
So the U.S., instead of using their receivers out and throwing the ball to them, are using them a lot in the backfield and pitching the ball to them. So now we have Cannon back in the backfield with Brickhouse. Gallegos under center. And a pitch to Cannon, who gets stopped for a loss of 5.
Yeah, nice work by the Canadian defense on this one.
Canada was ready for that one.
Yeah.
Tackle by Coleman.
So now we have Springer and Pickett in, as well as
Loses 1
the
yard.
quarterback is
Sammy Grisafi.
Sammy Grisafi. Second and, wow, they gave her incredible forward progress on that spot.
Yeah.
I did not think she got that.
I don't think she got that far.
Wow, that was a gratuitous spot for the U.S.
Yeah, I think once again we got that ball spotting.
Pitch, no, it's a quarterback keeper. Grisafi keeps it and is down at the 48, since this is a 98-yard field goal for those of you first tuning in. Field goal, 98-yard field.
98-yard field. She runs and she gets tackled by number 22, Patricia Echo Davis. Nice run by Grisafi.
So yes, here in Stockholm, this field is only 98 yards long.
Yeah, and I mean, throughout Europe, we have, since most of us play on soccer fields, converted soccer fields, we have fields that are even shorter than this. Sometimes the middle 20 yards are only 10.
Schmidt, who pitches it to Pickett, and Pickett drives and is going to be get a first down.
So in the middle of the field, when you run about 10 yards, you end up getting 12 this time on this field. Some other fields, you might get 20.
That's got to be kind of tough to get used to. Every field you go to has a different length to it.
Yeah, and they always do that little cheating in the middle, right down near the 50-yard line.
So sometimes it's a 2 yard between the 45 and the 50, and sometimes it's 1, 3.
Yeah, we have a field when between the 40 and the 50, it's instead of 10 yards, it's just 5. So
Gallegos under center, Springer blocking for Shockley. Shockley breaks it out to the outside and takes it down to the 45.
It's the 35.
35, excuse me.
Blue on tackle.
So it's that pitch with nice blocking.
Tackle.
Springer pursues, but it's better that
6 yard gain.
she didn't try to block, because that would have been a block and back.
Must be getting late in the day. We're talking about all the different fields. I can't look at the lines anymore. Grisafi under center, Springer and Brickhouse in the backfield, and Grisafi keeps it and is brought down for a loss of some yards by the Canadian defense. That was
6 yards
number
lost from
42, I think. So yeah, it's a
naked
naked bootleg attempt, but she gets taken down by number 42 and number 74.
no 40.
So one of the people on this was Carol Whitman, but I either saw the number right or we don't have the name on our list.
Now it's Schmidt, Springer, Brickhouse blocking. Springer takes it out to the left.
There's a missed
And
tackle.
Springer drives for the first down, and we have a flag thrown on the play.
There's a missed tackle right there by number 5, and then number 40 holding on to Springer, but she just keeps going, keeps her feet moving. Let's see what the flag was for. It's a holding call on the U.S.
And Ecuador on a tackle.
Which will drive them back a
Flag on
little
the
bit.
play.
Holding, number 31, USA. Kenya penalty.
2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the
the
fourth quarter and the game.
So it's a holding by Angela Benstra that set the U.S. back.
And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Thank you, Kimberly Gorsafi. We appreciate your kind comments for LG Sports. And it's a pitch to Wyman, and flags all over the place. Gallegos was under center, and the Springer was in there to block.
We got a minute 42 left.
Coleman and Holo on the tackle.
And it's offsides by the Canadian defense, it looks like. Or encouragement. Well, we'll see.
Offside, number 22, Canada. Penalty will be declined. First down, USA.
First down, USA.
So a minute 42 left in the game. The U.S. is going to win the gold medal, Canada the silver. I don't believe there's any question about that at this point. And let's see what the U.S. is going to do with the 1st and 10. They have Brickhouse and Wellenek in the backfield. And a pitch to Wellenek. And she gets tackled for a loss.
Wellenek loses 3 yards.
Yeah, this is the play they run successfully so many times.
Tackled by Brewer.
But this time, Brewer just hangs on to Wellenek until she brings her down on the ground.
So with the clock running, a minute 20 seconds and counting, the U.S. will huddle up. So we now have Wilson in the backfield who takes a pitch from Schmidt and runs it to the outside. She's got some speed there and gets it down to the 20.
Wilson.
See that nice pitch up. Once again, great blocking by Springer. Lets her cut out to the sideline and uses her speed to run down near the sideline and gets run out of bounds.
So it's 1st and 10, 45 seconds left in the game.
Like they really just want to score one more time.
Yep.
Give someone else a touchdown too.
Putting a lot of people now they're going to kneel down. I think they're going to take a knee. Victory.
Yeah, they will.
The game is over.
Gallegos takes the knee. So.
Gallegos in there to take the knee in this historic game. The USA going to take the first ever Women's World Championship, and it's 66-0, a shutout.
Yep. All 3 games. Shutouts. No points scored against them. But great effort by Canada and all the other teams here at the World Championships, showing everyone that women do play football around the world.
Yes, absolutely.
There's some catching up to do to Team USA, but the sport is growing everywhere. And the Canadians are also celebrating. They're
absolutely.
happy with their silver. And they did a great job tonight, despite not being able to score. We saw some really good plays by Team Canada as well.
Yep. The Canadian team has nothing to be ashamed of. They made it to the gold medal game, and it was a very nice
Yeah, and this
run for them.
And this Canadian team were, you know, they were picked up from all these different leagues, playing different rules, playing, you know, different numbers of people in each game, all across the continent.
So they did a nice job this year. It's been a wonderful tournament for all the teams.
Can I please ask the both teams to shake hands right now?
All right, we're going to see the teams shake hands.
Hello. Hello.
All right, I'll head down to the field.
Right now we're going to recognize the officials of this World Cup. Gudrun Bruckman, Katarina Milojevic, Renata Burki, Yara Thomas, Danica Boyd, Bernadette Carter, Monica O'Bill, Barbara Johnson, Annalie McPhillamy, Crystal Nichols, Erin Mia, Francesca Danseroy, Maureen Jordan, Karen Madden, Annie Tankinen.
Get somebody before we have the awards presentation.
So we got a lot of comments from our Facebook viewers too, congratulating Team USA and Team Canada for a great effort and all the teams participating in this first ever Women's World Championship in American football. There are a lot of shout outs to the players as well from family and friends, so we will be sure to let them know. And after the team handshakes, we're going to hear the announcement of the MVPs.
MVPs.
For all your heart. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I would say for this celebration, we asked these ladies who came from a number of different locations to come together and take on the charge of one team, one mission. And they played their butts off, and I'm so proud of them that scored on the entire tournament. It's been a wonderful, magical experience for all of us.
You did an awesome job, Coach Konecki. And so this looks really nice to, hopefully, for the USA to come back in 3 years and do it again. You'll be back?
That's not for me to decide. That's not for me to decide. But it's been a magical run, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Well, enjoyed the ceremony for the gold medal.
Okay, so you heard from U.S. coach, head coach John Konecki.
Number
and
63, Jamie Menzick.
The MVP for Team USA is number 63, Jamie Menzick. And the MVP for Canada was, we missed the announcement earlier because we were talking to Coach John Konecki. The MVP for Canada was number 44, Julie Page, the running back for Team Canada. Nice job
And we also
from Jamie
have
Menzick.
tournament MVP trophies, both on defense and offense. We start with the defense. USA's number 8, Sharon Vasquez.
So we've got MVP trophies for defense and offense for the tournament. So we got for Team USA, it's Sharon Vasquez, cornerback for Team USA.
And the most valuable player on offense, USA number 21, Rusty Sowers.
And on offense, it's Rusty Sowers, number 21 for USA, as the tournament MVP. on offense.
May we have Canada's team captains to the medal table, please, to receive your medals and trophy. The rest of the players will get the medals on the 40-yard line.
So now we see Canada's captains coming up to take their silver medals. Number 14, Sadia Ashraf, quarterback. Number 11, Jen DeGeese, linebacker. Number 89, Charlene Nash-Hadler, wide receiver. And number 87, Amy Moore, defensive back. And their team captains for Canada receiving their silver medal, and then the rest of the team will receive theirs. And they also received a trophy, the second place trophy for their team. The first ever Women's World Championship in American football. Congratulations, Team Canada. And afterwards, we will see the presentation of 2 trophies to the winner of this championship. One will be a trophy that the team will be able to keep, and then another one will be a trophy that will be the trophy that will wander from one team to another at the next World Cup. So that is the World Cup trophy. So now we have the U.S. team captains come out to receive their gold medals. And then the rest of the team. So Julie Shockley, number 27, was first to receive her gold medal. Then number 2, Desiree Weinman. Number 5, Tracy Adams. Number 46, Jessica Springer. And then the rest of the team, one by one, receiving the gold medals from the organizers, from IFAF. President Tony Viking and Vice President Ropen Noronen. And
you can see the U.S. team is a little over anxious there to celebrate their championship.
So I was going to say the other IFAF Vice President is also there heading at medals. Her name is Dr. Elisa Arjun. So IFAF executives handing out the medals. Some of our Facebook commenters are saying that the video feed is left, but it's not lost, so I'm sure there's some way to bring it back on your personal computer. The feed is working. Yes, many commenters will say they still see it, and that's correct. So the live feed is still working. Now we got the coaches for Team USA also receiving their gold medals, led by head coach John Konecki, who's also head coach of the Chicago Force. The entire team of coaches and trainers for Team USA. Team USA was of course
big celebration for Team USA.
Yes, John. Team USA was put together by the IWFL, the Independent Women's Football League, which is the largest league in the United States. And there was an application process after which all the coaches reviewed the application materials, not just looking for athletic ability, but also character and values to see which players could represent the U.S. at this historic event. And they had a week-long training camp before the tournament in Texas, getting ready.
So the 4 captains for today's U.S. team are going to get the trophy presented to them for first place.
The team captains to the medal table is going to receive the gold trophy of this World Cup of American Football for women.
So they are getting both trophies, the team captains for the USA. The gold trophy that they get to keep, and the trophy with the globe on the top that you can see, that's the trophy that will go from one team to the other at every World Cup. The one with the football on top, the team will get to keep. Team USA with the gold medal and the trophies. We saw some great athletes, wonderful football being played.
And as you see now, the Team USA has the trophy.
And we got the traditional ice
And
bath.
a tradition in American football, douse the coach.
Of course, John, we see that a lot in American football games, especially after championship games. The
So now
Gatorade
the
bath.
USA is cheering here.
And of course the music being played as we are the champions that you might be able to hear through the intercom.
Walk over and see if the...
John is going to try to talk to the Canadians a little bit. They have no reason to be unhappy, and they are celebrating their second place.
Thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.
Very proud of this team. They play with a lot of heart. I mean, they were up against a great team, but they never gave up, and we held them in the 4th quarter. So they should be very proud of them.
Excellent.
Practice here.
That was
Canada and the U.S. in the championship game.
That
was the rest of the world is catching up quickly to the United States and Canada in football.
Definitely. That was Coach Larry Harlow, head coach for Team Canada. Unfortunately, there were some technical issues, so we didn't hear much of the questions, but we did hear what Coach Harlow said in the first answer, which is that he's really proud of his team because they never gave up. They kept fighting throughout the game, and they are very proud to be second place at this championship. The Team USA is shouting out to all the fans, so that includes all of you viewers on our live feed and through Facebook. They are thanking all of you. This was a huge thank you to everyone who came out to Stockholm, to the stadium, and everyone who are watching through the live feed. And as John also said, this is the best team in the world right now, but we had great moves, great plays, great football being played by all these other teams, the 5 other teams that were represented here: Sweden, Finland, Germany, Austria, and Team Canada, besides Team USA, also bringing their best, fighting through everything. I mean, pain and anything that you can encounter in a week of 3 games with only 1 day to rest in between. I mean, this is a very grueling schedule for everyone, but they fought through it. And we can see that the sport is growing everywhere, it's developing everywhere, and everyone is so excited about playing the sport. We also had a conference yesterday about women's football with 12 countries represented in that conference, and everyone is trying to grow the sport in their countries, including Japan, including Israel. And so the next World Cup, hopefully we will have more continents and more countries represented. there are also plans to put together continental championships to feed into these world championships at one level. And the next world championship is scheduled for 2013, so in 3 years. And after that, it's going to be every 4 years. Cycled in between men's world championships and junior world championships as well. So as you can see, the sport is growing everywhere, including Europe, and the European teams were pretty evenly matched at this tournament. We saw some great games earlier. If you didn't get a chance to catch those early games, I would encourage you to check them out. The 5th place game against Austria and Sweden was a thrilling game with a clutch finish, and Sweden prevailed by 2 points over Austria. And the second game was the bronze game between Germany and Finland, which Finland won also by 2 points. So that was also a thrilling finish. So I encourage you to check it out, and you can also order DVDs from LG Sports. So if you want to watch these games again, feel free to contact LG Sports and order those DVDs. And hopefully, at the next World Cup, we will see all of you out here as fans or as players. Keep supporting women's football, because as you can see, we're tough. We can play the sport, and we will keep fighting. Okay, so I will let you guys go. I will give the word back to Lars here. Thank you for watching. My name is Anna Banhegyi. I'm a football player from Hungary, and hopefully you enjoyed some of the commentary between John and I. And I will see you at the next World Cup.
So we're going to close up the broadcast today. Me, Lars being the technical guy today and producer, and John
Shockley.
And Anne.
And Anna Banhegyi right here.
Okay, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, world.
Okay.
Love y'all.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna go. Yeah, turn them off.